இன்னைக்கு அனுப்பிச்சி விடுமா தரங்க. இப்போ விடுக்குன்னு பேசுகிறேன். இதுக்கு நான் படத்துக்கு போகிறதா?
Yeah, adaptability is way faster than the rest of the Vietnam region teams. On the side of Malaysia, nothing seems to be working out quite right for them, but you mentioned about Shine Like Diamond. They taken out Bacon time from afar. Elmstyle is done as well. There's so many players being ousted too early here. Aside for the entire team DBD, not even having a chance to just perform or play for a bit. Gonna have to wait for the next round. Now we're jumping over to the Xaviers on Paradise Resort. We do know Infinity around the corner on the outskirts of Paradise. I'm not sure if they want to butt in here the moment Lamborghini fire upon the members of Boom Esports.
The Xavier, they are looking to come back after whatever disaster happened yesterday. So next is going to be Boom. Long range coming in from Lamborghini. They're moving out of Paradise Resort. Their first 4 points are because of DBD. They eliminated them. And now Boom might be the next target.
Spotted out Appy. Now this is a risky thing to do for Boom if they want to fight against so many teams at the same time. Mormon, Tam Entertainment spotted out Shrubs, heard the footsteps there. Definitely gonna shoot it. It's a straight cross line and just execute, translate into 1 point. What a clean execution from Mormon. But this definitely given Shrubs another sort of information. There's one team right next to them. I'm not sure where are the rest of Empires. Just 2 of them here just now.
Yeah, they're quite split out for some reason. Early on, we did see that Ravenclaw was on the high ground, so he was kind of like moving towards Shrubs. So maybe Shrubs was scouting for their next location, and the moment he scouted, he found out where to stay, and then he called his teammates in, but it was a little bit too late as his teammates started to move towards him. That's where he got shot down. Now 9 Noise with the long range now putting pressure onto Shine Like Diamond. Shine Like Diamond retreating, resetting themselves while 9 Noise still putting pressure. 9 Noise alone though, so he gotta be careful not to get knocked in that area.
Lucky nobody spotted him yet. Smap gonna cook up a couple of smokes there, making sure they can actually exit himself out from the place and need to get into the circle, which we have no clue where will be the next one, but definitely on the main peninsula on the right side. But Smap and the rest of SLD figure out that, you know what, we need to get out right now because we seem a bit far. We have AWM of all the places, like it must be the smallest map for the AWM right now.
Yeah, you know what, AWM reminds me of it being the DBS of back in the day.
Oh yeah,
like back
I think they should put DBS back in it.
Yeah, no one will take the DBS, like everyone will just drop it. And now AWM seems to be like that weapon that nobody picks up. And DBS is the weapon of choice now, especially in a small map like Sanhok. So how times have changed. But now we put focus on the GDGIDS. Okay, this is gonna happen. Definitely a knockdown there for GDGIDS. Tam Entertainment will lose one.
Losing one more just now. We're looking over Sneasels quite far off from the rest of GDGIDS. But the thing is, that's kind of a good idea that they have nobody to worry about when it comes to trying to engage what's in the front line. Tam Entertainment definitely don't have any sort of a angle that they can just force GDGIDS to get out from their high horses. Whilst we're talking about 4 rivals, the only Malaysian team that perform better than the others and managed to secure themselves in the top 5 spot without any chicken dinner. It just shows that they know their objectives are Tamillive having a bit of a problem against GDGIDS. They finished off ASO from afar, but couldn't just execute it with a knockdown only because it's just too much of a distance between them.
Yeah, they bought. Well, I don't think they have a big motivation to really charge into each other right now, considering that all of them are in the circle. And we can see that GTGIDS is more of like giving warning shots towards Temp Entertainment. But Temp Entertainment, I worry that there's another team just over the horizon. But looks like Zenso will be the next one to get knocked down by Booms. Temp Entertainment, I mean, they gotta get out into somewhere safer.
At the same time, Vampire squeezing in. Definitely they got ham here with GigFam now fighting Vampires from the back. They have to cancel out their rotation towards the forward, which were, well, Temp Entertainment before. They have to focus on what's behind. And Fluke is really low right now. He does have, I think, a couple of utilities for healing and managed to reset himself. Now, the entirety of GigFam making sure that the rest of Vampires couldn't actually push towards them with a spread quite wide for the side of GigFam. But the thing is, Vampires, they have to pray as well. They're not attracting Temp Entertainment to join in this fight from behind. If not, it's going to be really tough for them to get out from here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if Temp Entertainment moves the other way and they spot out Vampire and they get and they take part of this between this fight between these two teams. So let's see if that happens, because Temp Entertainment, I think their positioning, they can be a little bit better. Where they were the last time we saw them was not strategic. It's not prime at all. So they got to find somewhere better. At least this is better because you have a compound and you have enough distance between anyone who's trying to get to you. So you can kind of defend that better as compared to the earlier spot. So that's kind of okay. But between GigFam and Vampire, I expect this to be a staring competition for now.
No, I just wish the Temp Entertainment, yes, it's a good compound to work with, but the high grounds is not, they don't have any sort of elevations. They're being surrounded right now from above. It's going to be a big problem. They need to get out from there. But the side of GigFam and the rest of Vampires, they're playing at the slope of the hill because they do know they can rotate easily with the the sloping of the ledges of the hill will hide them for a bit more. Boom tried to get himself in the center of the junction again, but I have a feeling the circle will be on top of Corey, just like how it almost ended up yesterday. It will be right in the center of everything else there. We're talking about where Boom actually currently is taking their tenant, where Bon might be a bit of a high chances of last few circles. You do see like 5 to 6 teams moving towards the same direction there. But I have a feeling that the Xavier's trying to take this as slow as possible. Alter Ego, well, I just hope BN United, last member, going to survive a bit longer. 2 of them, actually.
Yeah. They're taking out the blue right now. So considering that there are only 2 players left, I believe that they'll try to go for the healing game or try to come in a little bit later, considering that it's only like, what, the second circle. So that's definitely something that they want to consider, and I believe that they'll be doing that. And they just need to be aware of Alter Ego that's still on the northern side together with them in the same island. And because of what Alter Ego is doing, they're playing the healing game, they're taking their sweet time. They could still backstab BN United at some point if they happen to come through the same route.
Talking about healing games, so far I don't see anybody having themselves a double-digit first 8 yet. SLD slowly creeping into the circle from the southern part. But at the same time, I'm not sure how the teams actually in the center of the circle will hold their ground much longer. Bacon Time, I think this is going to be the last member there is. 3 of them actually still there. Shirty, one of the most brilliant player recently. Uprising Terminator coming up. GigFam still going to go against Vampires. I'm not sure where Temp Entertainment right now. It feels like they're still staying in the compound. They're waiting for the circle. Next one commences right now, where the circle will shrink even further and the blue zone will closing in. It's going to be the side of GigFam. Feels like they're a bit more secure. They're going to stay and hold this for a bit. Same goes for Vampires. I'm not sure those teams are actually from the outskirts come out north, like we mentioned before. Alter Ego, who stands at #1 spot, do have a couple of BNU players on the bridge on the top left side. I'm not sure if they already crossed it or not.
Yeah, the last we saw them, they have not. And I think that they'll be taking their time. Perhaps Not yet. My guess would be because they had to loot from like Camp Alpha to Hatin. Then when they're in Hatin, which is the last time we saw them, I think that they're still like somewhere in the middle of looting, so they're still taking their time there, which they can afford to, especially if they have a vehicle. But we can't confirm that until we see it later on. But I guess we might be expecting them to move like maybe after this third circle or towards this circle closing. Then we might see them in the main peninsula by then.
Just now, we kind of flash about the total eliminations so far for the players. I think Mela is still one of the top there as well for Infinity. Now, speaking of Infinity, they have been very quiet. They're not as aggressive as yesterday, not as proactive when it comes to these certain groups. So it definitely knows that when it comes to the swap of the grouping, it will also changes how this player is going to rotate. These Xavier's, I think Frankie spotted on got Turnip from afar just now. I think it was around, what, 300 meters away, that shot coming out from the side of Paradise Resort. But Paradise Resort still inside of a circle, so they can take their own sweet time. But for Max and another player of BN United, some of them, Max still gonna play it very slow here. I'm not sure how he got himself in this sort of situation. Like, he don't have enough healing, but it's way into the blue, no vehicle, and not even trying to loot from this high grounds. How can he try to survive for the next couple of minutes? Like, I don't think this is gonna work for BN United.
Well, maybe his idea is to get revenge over Alter Ego. We can see like how much he wants to stop Alter Ego from going to the bridge, because that's the choke point. If this kind of circle, it's unlikelier that a team will go down the southern bridge, so they might go up the right side bridge. So that's where they kind of like made that assumption, and it kind of worked out for them if that's their plan to just stop Alter Ego. So it's working out for them. It's kind of okay. But of course, like what you said, the risk is that towards them. Yes, even if they get to stop Alter Ego, what's the benefit to them? Maybe like what, 3 extra points, 4 extra points, and that's about it. But placement-wise, it's not gonna help.
Here he goes, Gig Fam. Take it out on Trongzin. SLD having a bit of a problem here, even though they got themselves a good start before. But the distance will actually give them enough time to revive their teammate. Yuhai on the other end tried to keep the push towards the side of 2 members of SLD. Feels like a perfect angle.
Beautiful!
He got one, double down again. Here comes another one. Yuhai wants to make sure they can't even breathe for SLD. He's just keep the pressure on. The utilities drop one by one. Map try to actually help whoever his teammate is right in front of him right now. Definitely need extra hand here, but damn rude. Finish off SLD, goes to there. And this is going to be a problem. Heavy casualty on side of SLD.
Here we go, SLD. They might be run down by GigFam. GigFam wants those points at the back. And looking at the counter circle, GigFam will be squashed in between Vampires as well as SLD. Vampire with a shot onto GigFam. GigFam losing players. SLD getting their revenge.
Very crowded left side of the circle. Bururam actually have a very clear day here. I have a good feeling about GDJDS and Bururam right now, but the rest of them staying in the left side. 4 rivals, SLD, GigFam, Time Entertainment, Singers for Boom, will not having as easy entry in as possible. Infinity coming up, the only team coming from the north latest, but back towards the side of GigFam, still having a go against Vampires. The longest duel of a stalemate now finally erupted with Straps taking out on Damn Rude, who just secured himself a couple of nations before, now finished off quite early. UI and Snipes have to work things out between those two, but Snipe just a bit towards the right side just now. Here comes another nade. Tried to toss right on top of Lucas, but seems like a bit of a long shot there.
Yeah, his first nade missed, his second nade missed as well. I mean, it's tough to be in that kind of position because of the stones, the elevation, doesn't help his view, so he was just trying to guess based on the sounds or the footsteps of a Vampire, but it is tough, so it's understandably, he just tries anyway, but he needs to rendezvous together with his teammates. But on the northern side, we have in the Infinity, now looks like the Xavier's in front of them. The Infinity did like whatever they did yesterday. Have a vehicle, use that to scout, use that to move into the circle. They'll start to abandon the vehicle when it comes to like the 5th or 6th phase of the circle, and that's where they either plan out to play the healing game, or like yesterday, they played the healing game as a start, then they just abandoned that idea and went all in for the chicken dinner.
I mentioned again, I don't see anybody playing healing game so far. nobody have enough healing utilities to actually buy time and just play at the back line. Infinity, some of them don't even have first aids here. These Xavier's definitely tailing Infinity very closely, but SLD after one, two, another. Tam Entertainment next for the next contender, and finally eliminated after being pegged by so many teams. Now GDGIDS wiped out on the side of Buriram, which we thought they had a clear day, but happened to be clashing quite early on. And Buriram down to 3 men only. This is going to be on the southern part of his circle entry for most of the teams there. It's going to be right on top of Barn. Infinity finally start to take a fight against UD Alliance. They click off Adiklik before, but having a problem to finish him off straight away. But we might have another contender right in front of him. These Xaviers might be gatekeeping this entry as well.
Let's see how big of an impact would these Xavier have over those two teams. But High currently down Snipes, the last man standing, and Snipes with a knockdown to Shush, but the counterfight coming from Flukev on the right. That means Geek Fam is out with only 2 points in this round.
Finally, Vampire is winning that longest fight there is. Tam Entertainment taken out on Capone. Now that's going to be Max left for BN United. And Tam Entertainment, level 1 gears or not, he don't care. He just keep on shooting. And Max is going to be having a bit of a problem. Barney's still going to be the last circle here. The last few. We have Box Gaming, GDGIDS already parked themselves right in the... not really center to a southern part of the circle, more towards it. Buriram as well. The one that actually not given enough attention is going to be Alter Ego coming out on the right side. Unless Buriram want to challenge him, Alter Ego actually have a big shot getting the biggest compound there is in there.
Wow, what a movement there for Alter Ego. All the way from Camp Alpha to the right side where the areas of Ban Camp Bravo is at. That's quite a rotation there. I believe they got that through a vehicle. If they were to go there on foot, it would be a little bit difficult. It's far, they're exposing themselves. But that is a very interesting move for Alter Ego. But it's interesting as well that BN United went out. So that means that they will still remain at number 20 by the end of this round.
Max were trying to play healing. They don't have enough just now. Now we're down to only 12 teams here. Now this is going to be the big war. The great migration happened as Infinity taking it on these Xaviers multiple times. And Box is there as well, fighting against UD Alliance possibly. But it's going to be Boom versus Box. Well, Box trying to gatekeep Boom, but it feels like Boom having a better sort of formation. On the side of Infinity, trying to push into the side of the Xaviers. We're talking about Newsy. This guy just don't know what is fear. He just go in there solo-handedly while the rest of the team is actually in the back line.
Ooh.
So he's going to push and rush here. Newsy, Miller and Tony is just too far. Same goes for Logan. Newsy just keep on needing them with a DBS in his hands. Gonna finish off secured eliminations. One more player, the Xavier's waiting for the time to die. And Newsy just know how to juke him out. And Lamborghini in such a spot, he couldn't heal himself. And that's gonna be Infinity winning over these Xaviers.
I mean, it's Newsy. We saw yesterday how he used his DBS to clutch and get that chicken dinner against 2 players. 1v1 with his DBS. I mean, Newsy has all the odds in his favor in that kind of fight. Now, Razy is the last man standing here for Boom, and he's still caught on the outside of the circle. 100 meters to go. Appy with the nade toss onto the side of Boom. Will it land nicely onto them? No, it will not, but Appy still secures the elimination over Hexas.
Boo Boo Hoo bleeding out, down to Razy to actually make the call for the entire team here. Last person alive, and that's it. Boom ending for Boom Esports. It's 4 rivals won, but it's still a big loss for them. Like Appy and also Voku will not be saved here. Apple is really low right now, barely make it in for the blue zone. If we finish off by the blue zone, that's it for 4 rivals. But the thing is, Boss Gaming waiting there, and Trisma already tossed a couple of nades, and April lost down. I think that's the end for 4 rivals. Tam Entertainment go down first, by the way, but 4 rivals still hanging on a very thin thread. Well, we have so many players finish off by the play zone. We do have a lot of them still in the war. Alter Ego versus UD Alliance next.
Oh, Alter Ego, only 2 of them left, and they're taking out the blue. Only 1 first aid left for Renare, for Potato. Renare will have 2 first aids That's not going to be good enough for them to last. Now the 6th player of the circle, just look at the amount of damage onto Potato. He's now turning into a fried potato or baked potato, depending on what you like. And now Shamil takes advantage of that, securing the elimination for Yudu Alliance.
Beautiful spray just now, but Yudu Alliance keep racking up the eliminations here with 2 in their hands right now, back to back, getting themselves more points. Well, Tony tried to kill himself outside of her zone. He got himself that vehicle, but I'm not sure the first 8 will not be enough. But at the same time, they're being stopped by Box Gaming. And we have Infinity and also Pamburu on the left side. This is going to be a bit of problem. Pamburu, what a clean shot. He can just shoot it over. A clean line of sight, a straight line. Pamburu is still hanging on. But the thing is, he's the last member for 4 Rivals. It's too much of jeopardy. While Infinity taking fight against Box, they didn't realize the enemy is backstabbing from behind.
And they missed just now. Continue drive past Pamburu. Now Pamburu gets a knockdown to 1, but the Infinity spots him out. And now the Infinity, they're going to pay for it for not spotting out Pamburu in the first place. They will lose 2. Logan's the last man standing, 20% of health. Logan still on the outside. There's no way he can pick up his teammates at this moment. The zone will put pressure on the Pamburu. If only the Infinity spotted him out earlier on, it will be a different story.
But lucky enough, it's not that much of a different story. Now they can revive and reset themselves. But the one that closing up by the blue is going to be Yudu Alliance for now. If they rush into the sort of Infinity, that's going to be a huge win for them because Infinity hasn't reset themselves yet. Buriram Tiger.
Repo Boy, it's going to be hard for him to be picked up by his teammates. Olio waiting for the right moment, but Olio even, he's on the outside of the circle. And the zone will put pressure on Olio. He only has 5 first aids. Can they out-heal Bacon Time?
It's gonna be the race of time, but Ice, last one, that's it. 2-4. I think Bacon Time would go down first. He's gonna place himself at third. Thank you, Ice, valiant effort there. But it's down to Buriram versus Yudu Alliance. Now, Olio, he's playing the healing game, but they actually have a shot just now. And this is gonna be Buriram United's game as Yudu Alliance left with only Shamil in the blue zone. And this is it, Shamil. Arms for the fight. He can still go for the gun. He can still go for the spray. But slowly he'll be cornered. Buriram spotted him out. Definitely can see him through. He definitely can see him. Now all the shots. Can he get one more before he goes down? Shamil secured one knockdown, but it's not finished off straight away. And it's going to be Buriram United with the first chicken dinner.
Yeah. Frankly speaking, for me, at some point, it was like, okay, Buriram's just going to get the chicken dinner because of 1, they have the circle, that's kind of obvious. 2, they have the high ground advantage. 3, they have the manpower advantage as well. If Shamil were to clutch that, he cannot be taking out the blue because we're talking about the 8th phase of the circle. The most he can get is 1 knock, or most, even after that, the stretch most is that knock and that elimination, and that's pretty much it. To take down another 2 while he's taking out the 8th phase of the circle, it's going to be impossible. So it's definitely Buriram United's chicken dinner to take home.
I mean, like, Buriram did have a very clear pathway towards carve into the circle just now. They don't have that much of teams to fight against the unnecessary fights we mentioned before. Just coming out on the right side of the circle, including, I think it was GDGIDS as well. But they got caught in between there. But the side of Empires, they have been playing a lot of the center of the circle and they've been holding their ground quite great, if you ask me. It's a bit slow start here today when it comes to this Sanok. Not much of a healing game. I think most of the players coming in very late or starting off very slow this time. One of the many reasons because they don't have enough healing utilities, so they're not too sure about how to play around this, as the drop of the first 8 are quite rare to be found.
Yeah, perhaps the learning from PMRC and even yesterday's games as well is like teams tend to do better if they play a little bit more aggressive, so teams tend to focus onto that. It's not to say that there are no teams playing the healing game. We still saw a couple of teams play the healing game, but not as many as the last time. So a lot of teams had to shift their gameplay style, and I think that is great. That means teams are starting to adapt. So we may see more of this kind of action, maybe inside Sanok even tomorrow and the day after.
Well, hopefully things are getting heated up later on. But for Buriram just now, it was a really clear win for them. I mean, like, Udo Lions actually have a shot to win that. It was 2v3, by the way. If they actually try to advance forward just to spot out where Buriram players actually set, we might actually have a last brawl before things go down slowly. But on the side of Buriram, right now, their first ever chicken dinner coming out from the side of Buriram now. I think a lot of the Thais are having chicken for the past 2 days. Bacon and vampires are there too, so a lot of Thais set for Udo Lions here for the team to focus on week 1, day 2, match number 1 here just now. So we definitely can say it has been a hell of a day for the Thais since yesterday. With 24 total points with 9 eliminations, nobody getting themselves a double digit this time.
Yeah, no one. That also means that the record is not broken yet. So at most it's like what, 9 eliminations, and that's about it. Interestingly, Bacon time, they depended 100% on ranked points. No eliminations at all for this team that's on top. But speaking about no eliminations, DBD, too fast. We hardly even see them. We don't even know what kind of lineup did they play with. Did they play it with their substitute player, or did Moscow Cute played? We don't know. But anyway, hopefully a better round next round for DBD. Other than that, I can say that this again reminds me of a good regular matchup of a Sanhom map. Like, you get very minimal teams playing the healing game.
Well, the MVP is going to be Shreps coming up from Vampire. This is going to be the usual. I think, like, we have a lot of expectation from Shreps, and he's definitely delivering it here to do 5 elimination with the still sort of the average damage dish out for 600 to 700. That's going to be the usual right now. But speaking of the record holder, right? The highest MVP we had was 9 eliminations. I forgot who it was again. But for the shortest record of a game, I think that's going to be by DBD. 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. That is currently the, I would say, I'll call it like the Razzies Award. That's the award that you don't want. So that just happened. Anyway, the Xavier, they're still currently at the bottom with 12 points only. BN United, 20th spot with 8 points. But on the other side, Alter Ego, they're still on top, 61 points. Only 7 points difference with 4 rivals moving up to 2nd place. So 4 rivals again is that team without the chicken dinner. No chicken, no problem for them to be in that top 3 spot.
Now, it's still not too far-fetched for these guys to catch up when it comes to the first page. Same goes for the second, but the one with a single digit is still going to be BN United. Well, I don't think they played just now. Did they play? Yeah, they actually played with Capone. Remember, he was the last member alive again. And this is not great since they've been playing quite a lot for BN United, but not even budging from the double digit, single digit to double digit here. And this is definitely going to need to really rise up to the occasion. We're talking about total sort of approach coming up from the side of BN United to give it a bit of a push. Same goes for the Xaviers, which didn't play just now, so fair enough for them. But the Malaysian teams, only 2 of them are actually on the first page, including Udo Lions. Now, this is a good start for Udo Lions. We do, and we did witness 4 rivals have been quite okay yesterday, but I hope the teams actually on the second page are going to have to realize that, you know what, being left behind, even though it's just the second day and just the first week, but it will be given so much of an impact when it comes to the bonus weekly points.
Yeah, it is. It definitely will. So getting that consistency over 3 weeks is important, not only because you want to get into the grand finals, but also you want to have a good start at the grand finals, because those points will also be the starting point in the grand finals as well. So you want to have that little bit of an edge. You don't want to be starting off from behind. Nobody wants to do that, right? But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Some of these teams, they just really need to buck up. But let's hope for Buru's comment yesterday that Xavier will be like pranking all of us and wanting to do that comeback later on.
I mean, it's great to have surprises, but it's also great to have good consistency since week 1, day 1 as well. I mean, like, why would you want to... Okay, we can actually say, like, the teams that actually got themselves a slot in PMGC League, including Infinity, can just lay back and relax now. But they still try their best to get themselves in first spot as much as possible. We're just going to recap a bit what really happened in the last Sunhawk game here. Definitely Barn is the place that we should focus on. That's going to be the last few circles ended up. Well, Udo Lions around Camp Bravo, they don't really have to venture that much to get into the circles. Same goes for Buriram. But definitely Bacon Time has been taking a long rotation. But because of them being chased down one by one just now, always one by one being clipped off, that's the reason why they didn't get a lot of eliminations, or can say no eliminations at all. They're few on man too early on with only 3 players, and they have to cut across the bridges as well. Well, for Vampires, they have been fighting a lot in the center. That's why they got quite a number of eliminations there.
If I look at the movement from Beacon Time, one is that they drop in the areas of Sami. We know that Sami is the healing game team plays, and their kind of spread is like they spread out to get as many utilities or first aids as possible. Even one of them went up to the areas of docks that far just to gather utilities, so I can see what they're trying to do there. They spend a lot of time in the blue, and their objective is just like, okay, we'll heal as high as possible, as far as possible as we can get, and by getting a 3rd place finish, it's okay. It could have been better, if not because of Yudu Alliance. Lions hanging on a little bit longer than what they could have.
But just now we saw how Kumbura can backstab Infinity from behind. It was a perfect view just now. He was just a bit too hesitant to start fire and didn't actually secure any elimination for that. It's a bit of an unfortunate moment, but well done for Buriram United. It was a very well played game with a lot of movement coming up from them, securing quite a number of eliminations. But it's still a warming up game for most of the teams down there. And hopefully when it comes to Miramar for the next one, where it's going to be more feisty, definitely. We're talking about it's going to be Group A resting area for this map, which is going to be the Xavier's for rivals, Buriram and Tam Entertainment. Now, these are going to be the teams that perform quite well in the last match, Sunhawk. For rivals, Buriram and Tam Entertainment.
Yeah, so they have a record, definitely, and Miramar is going to be a very different map as well. Yeah, yesterday we saw a very different gameplay. Even like what we thought, like, okay, first game, it was the Infinity getting that chicken dinner yesterday. And we thought like, okay, the Infinity, and plus during the PMRC, they had a very, very good Miramar game. That's where they got 19 eliminations. But it was a very different story yesterday for them. Understandably why, because stakes are higher in the C Championship, and then you have all these good teams as well all around you. So it's a little bit tough, and they need to adapt. But so let's see if anything changes later on in that Miramar.
We're gonna have to wait and see, because so far Miramar, I mean, like, the Indonesians are really strong when it comes to Erangel yesterday. But we do have SLD getting themselves a chicken yesterday. The first Miramar, it was Boom at first, still from Indonesia, and also SLD coming up from Vietnam. And the rest of them ended up with Indonesian teams taking away the Erangels. So I want to see, can any other team step up to their match here? Because we're talking about, it's very unusual. It's very quiet starting off a day number 2 today. I was hoping something more aggressive, something more proactive coming up from these guys. But I have a feeling they're still not showing us all their cards just yet for the teams. For the team summary so far in our match 1 just now, it's going to be Buriram versus Yudu Alliance. Now we're going to see the rise of Yudu Alliance when it comes to day number 2, hopefully today.
Well, what kind of helped the chill moment in Shanghai also, because the circle was kind of kind. It was like in the main peninsula, it was kind of okay. So if you want a really aggressive round, right, maybe we can all hope for a tough circle next. Put it like at the corner, like an Impala, like put it all the way down south, or put it in Oasis. Then we will see something really, really interesting. And what's going to be interesting is, of course, the team to focus. Yesterday, these teams did super good inside Miramar. 4 rivals, despite them not getting their chicken dinner yet, but their level of consistency is there. Miramar was one of their best maps.
Hopefully they can do it again then. Because right now, we're looking over, some teams don't have chicken, no problem. But the problem is where they can't be consistent. A lot of yesterday incidents where we have one moment they got themselves chicken, the next game they've been eliminated one of the many too earlies. So here's going to be our next group when it comes to Miramar. Second match of the day is going to be B, C, D, E. Group A will not be playing. So the moment, I have a feeling why we saw the tempo of certain game just now. Just now we don't have Group A, Group C playing. the Group C do have the teams that's really aggressive. I have a feeling with the addition of Group C causing a change of dynamic entirely. Eagle Esport, FaZe, NFT, and Sem9, especially FaZe and Eagle Esport, they love to hunt so much.
Even NFT as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you're right. Coming to the next round, because we have Group C, a couple of things will change because of how aggressive the teams can be, so other teams need to adapt as well. Even like big name teams who like to play aggressively, like the Infinity, like Bacon Time, like GTGIDS, they need to change up their playstyle. Like, it's no longer like, okay, maybe they're not playing, so you have a little bit of a lesser amount of firepower, but this time the firepower basically increased. But you know what else has increased? Bobo Boy has increased.
Yeah, this is going to be for you guys, which is just going to be a couple of more days to go. We have Bobo Boy. It's going to be the collaboration of the local animation series to be with PubG Mobile. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but definitely stay tuned, guys, because we haven't got a clue. Even the poster not showing us anything as well. So we don't know what's going to be the collaboration is about. Maybe sort of animation with a storyline or sort of a lore. I'm not sure.
I actually saw a teaser on PubG Mobile social media. It looks like a bag, but we'll find it out in a couple more days. But what we already know right now is the Rabu Padu Phase 2. It has been happening. So every Wednesday you play, you can collect double points. You play on a regular day, other than Wednesday, you still get points, and that point can be collected for you guys to win prizes. And if you think there's an interesting content, do hashtag Rabu Padu Menang Selalu and maybe get yourself featured on PubG Mobile social media.
Yeah, everybody wants to have their own fame here. Everybody wants to be famous.
Of course.
Okay, what's not famous right now are the Malaysian teams. They're not performing at all. I mean, like, except for Pro Rivals, also you realized just now. Where are the teams that used to be the veterans, including like even on the other region? We're talking about the Xaviers, we're talking about Geek Fam, who's really strong when it comes to their own country finals and country league. Where are they? It feels like they're lost in the mist there, in the mist of nowhere. And also DBD, I mean, like, they work their sweat off to be in here, but it feels like the moment they step their foot in, and not totally in it. But we're gonna be dropping our prediction next. Oh man, Geek Fam.
I'm not gonna say anything.
This is not a prediction, but
yeah, you're like, oh, where's Geek Fam? Oh yeah, there you go. But anyway, it's also gonna be the debut for FaZe Clan today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of expectation considering that they have shown that they played very well inside of Miramar. There was a sandwich situation between Tam Entertainment, the Infinity, and FaZe Clan, a three-way situation. And FaZe Clan was one of the teams that came out on top as well in that power grid fight yesterday. So they're showing that they can hold off against a team like the Infinity. Of course, that Entertainment had to step in and kind of help them. But then again, the point is that they still managed to hold on against a team that was superb last week in the PMRC.
Well, the past is the past. The most important thing right now is the present. And if they can learn better and faster in the present, it will be really great. We're talking about the most fierce or most aggressive. I mean, like, all the regions are really good. Even the Vietnam, like we mentioned, the Vietnam teams, right? In the first half of the year, were really great. Now we're almost at the end of the year, they're nowhere.
Yeah, it's so different. It's like
it's the same year.
Yeah, it is. Within the same year, it's like there's such a major change for the Vietnamese, especially for the Xavier. I mean, I don't know, it's very hard to tell, right? Like, because in game you don't see those moments out of them. You see them getting caught in like a sandwich situation yesterday. Yesterday's Irango's rotation was, if you do enough homework, you know that that house is either going to be Udo Alliance, 4 Rivals had to be there. Basically, there's going to be someone in that kind of circle, but I don't know. Their decisions are quite interesting for me yesterday. But let's see if that changes in this round. So Miramar will be a fresh new map. Let's go, Miramar.
Into the biggest map of PUBG. Here we go with no Group A playing. That's going to be the Xavier's 4 Rivals, Buriram United, and Tam Entertainment. Now, that's going to be a lot of sigh of relief for some of the teams, because when we asked them regarding the teams. Some of them actually mentioned Tem Entertainment when it comes to CQC, when it comes to the fight. They are really strong. Impala up to his luck. Cobreria for the flight path this time. It's also down to the circle. We do know the circle has been insanely bizarre. Speaking of how it will ended up like the unexpected places for most of us. But it will be fun sometimes to challenge the players.
Yeah, I mean, challenge the players, that's fun for us, especially of course the players, they'll be like, nah, we just want a regular circle, let us get by this round nicely and all that. But no, this is PUBG Mobile. Nobody's gonna get all nice and flowery and good circle for you. No, you gotta adapt to like those interesting circles basically. And Oasis has been one of those circles that we haven't seen for the longest time.
That's true. But you know what? Back towards the drops there. Euro Alliance feels like sharing a bit with Bacon Time, possibly on top of Los Leones. Eagle E-Spot like usual, Chumazero, but the circle feels like in between. Is it Power Grid Circle or is it going to be towards North Crater Field? I have a feeling it might be in between the Power Grid there, but definitely it's going to be a celebratory moment for the teams dropping, which is going to be Sem9, including those in Montenuevo as Infinity. But Bacon Time on Los Leones sharing with Euro Alliance right now. It's quite a big town here, Los Leones, so it's going to be enough to supply both teams.
So yeah, Los Leones, I mean even yesterday as well, we saw 3 teams drop into Los Leones. By now the meta of having 3 teams there, it's okay. Teams now, they know how to kind of like split themselves up, like northern side, southern side, and on the left side, those are going to be the 3 areas of Los Leones, so that's kind of okay. Not too big of an issue by now. It was like what, 4 seasons ago maybe, then that could be a question. That time it was only like 2 teams, but now as the season goes by, 3 teams able to adapt inside Los Leones. So far we haven't seen any big moves yet, even in previous seasons for that kind of meta.
You guys watching at home, don't forget to scan over the QR code for the PMCC 2022. Commencing very soon. This is going to be your last chance to have a shot at being a professional player. Is your career in your life. But speaking of the drops again, I do realize that GDG ideas, the moment Infinity plays in Miramar, just give away Montenuevo. You know what? It feels like right now they are not ready to fight against Infinity yet, so they spotted out Puerto Price vacancy. And just going to drop there for a bit more until, you know, I'm not sure how long, maybe in the 2nd week or the 3rd week, they try to contest again for Montenuevo. But on our side, we do have a DVD. This time they last longer, so it's a good sign already.
Yeah, I mean, it can be faster than Sanhao, right?
If it's faster than Sanhao, I don't know what's happening to them.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit worried if it's faster than Sanhao. Plus, it is in Miramar, it's a bigger map and all that. You have a lot of space to play with. If it is faster than Sanhao, I don't know. Like that's like world record too soon. Hopefully, it doesn't happen anymore.
You don't
it's
want
just
to have
sad,
that
right?
kind of record, you know.
Of course, yeah. That's why it's the Razzies Award.
It's fun to have a record holder as your name with it, but not those kind of records like.
Yeah, not at all. That's why it's the Razzies Award, right? It's the award that nobody wants to have.
Oh man, vampires. A lot of teams feels like they are sort of having a truce here, and just respect each other's boundaries and rotation, securing perimeters when having a scout to rotate around the corner. Infinity, same goes for them, but not so much for BN United, fighting against Sem9 here. Interesting prospect, and Putra got with a mini 14, finish off BNU player. Having a minor victory, silence on the ground. Not sure where are the rest of BN United right now. Can't see anywhere nearby. It's definitely an extra point for the side of Putra.
Right, the moment you ask for some form of action, this happens immediately. Maybe you can ask for like food, and maybe it will show up later. But yeah, it is going to show up anyway. But anyway, what's not showing up right now? It's BN United again. Very early fights. If it works out for them, fine, that's okay. But again, another early fight that didn't work out for them. only 8 points so far. The only team with still a single-digit point. I don't know. It's tough. Even like PMRC, like yes, they didn't start out well, but at least towards the end they were like, okay, they're not like the last place. But right now, looking at this kind of situation, I don't know. It needs to be there needs to be an overhaul for like BN United's game plan somehow.
The thing is, just now, usually Semnan drop around power grid, but they are in the crater field. Well, FaZe is actually in the crater field. Is this one of the reasons, right, why... I'm not surprised NFT is there because they used to drop in La Cabrera, but the thing is, Same 9 is there. One of them in a reason because they don't want to fight against FaZe too early on. And this is actually a good call coming out from them as they still can stop a lot of players from climbing up here. But if the circle shift downwards now, that's really crucial for them to actually secure themselves down into the lower grounds. Make sure they can survive from that slow hike or climbing down there. Graveyard taken over by vampires. Feels like a silencer's graveyard it is.
Yeah, it is called graveyard for a reason, right? So happened that they happen to be here, and so happened it had to be the vampires. Just saying, just pointing that out. Vampires graveyard, get it? Yeah, just so happened. But Box Gaming, so now they are making, they are playing in this round. Right now, they are the second lowest. And Box Gaming, like what you say, used to be one of those teams that have a lot of support for them, and they did fairly well back in the day, but over time, they just didn't adapt. So I feel that Box Gaming is like, yes, they have that brand name, like everyone knows Box Gaming, especially when you watch any Vietnamese PMBL live stream, like a lot of Box Gaming fighting, but time is catching up to them, and we can see that a lot of other teams are starting to step up, like even like Alter Ego NFT. Back in the day, we don't really talk about them, but now they're one of the teams on top, so Boss Gaming needs to find a way to adapt to current times with these new teams and the new meta.
I just wish the new meta is actually 10 points for chicken dinner. Honestly speaking.
Well, I mean,
was,
wish all you
want.
want.
I mean, that was really fun, by the way. You know, when the players really have to be pushed to the corner, when like, you know what, we can't rely too much on the rank point. That was really fun. That was really fun. Back towards the side of FaZe, they're taking the high grounds as usual when it comes to Mirama, not Sunhawk. Mirama, it's always about the high terrains and high grounds. Whoever got it, you get yourself quite a view and plus a lot of information if you stand on the prime spot. Eagle Esports will be just passed by the side of Bacon and on top of Chumacera. It's going to be a usual spot. I'm not sure if Bacon Town want to park themselves there just to make sure they can hover the crosshair to the side of Eagle Esports to get a couple of eliminations while they're transitioning into the circle, but feels like they're not going to take that sort of a risk. And UI spotted out and boom. I think this is going to be on top of Power Grid, possibly around St. Martin area.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible around the area of St. Martin. One of the high grounds there is one of the famous or preferred checkpoints for Gig Fam. And they're going up against Boom as Hexas goes down, but now we have visual over whatever that's happening. And we can see that Yuhai is putting pressure onto the outside. And okay, yeah, it's going to be the areas of Tora Shimada. Oh, all the way up north. And the only team on that side. So Gig Fam, they really want to get it over Boom. Boom not giving up just yet. And Boom managed to counter fire on the Yuhai. Yuhai goes down and will go out.
That's really far. Gig Fam travel up to the north all the way, trying to just get the fight in on top of Tura Humada. It is unusual, actually, for Gig Fam rotation. Finish off one by one with Damrit, a bit of a trade there. Come out with Octa. A lot of them being finished off by the blue slowly, surely, and that's going to burn them quite a bit. It's not too much yet. It's still going to be 0.6% per second for the HP being burned down here. Micah OP with less than 100 meters distance. Want to shoot against the side of Boom, but the thing is, Boom got better covers than they do. Damrit is still bleeding out. None of these guys of Gig Fam tried to save him up yet. And Snipes tried to get onto the vintage point, hoping to buy a bit more space to just fire on Boom, making sure that Damrit will be picked up by their teammate.
Well, I'm not sure which situation is better right now because Boom is like tanking out the blue and the blue is just right behind them, while Gig Fam, they are not in the zone, but they're in a position that they can gatekeep Boom, so they have like that 50-50 good and bad for each of these sides.
They definitely have better position now for Gig Fam. They don't have to pressure themselves in the blue zone. There's already 1+ point here. And that's going to be Snipes taking it. And like we mentioned, he's going to go for the flank side to get the space for the time for GigFam to revive themselves among the process. Boo Boo Hoo slowly chip off by the blue, but definitely a lot of time wasted in here. And GigFam finally revived Damroot. There you go. Back to the side of Razy. Try to just pick the shot away, but it's just so many fences. Scar L in the hands. Damroot to finish off by the blue zone. Micah took too much time here. Finally hop onto his vehicles a bit too late now to bail this one out. Oh man. They got Snipes to do the job just now. But it's just not acted fast enough on the side of GigFam.
Well, that's why I say it was a 50-50, right? Because they also had their good stuff, which is they had the numbers at some point. So by having the numbers, they can kind of bait Snipes to kind of like show himself, or can even go for the flanks and try to distract their opposition. And now Snipes is put in an uncomfortable position. Boo Boo Crew knows exactly where he is. The nade onto Snipes will take him out. And it didn't land. It's still all right. Boo Boo Crew has one first aid. I believe Snipes has a couple of them. But either way, 1,000 meters away from the circle, it's not good news for either side.
It's not great for GigFam. Definitely not worth fighting for both teams right now. Overcommitted to this, but Infinity definitely start to charge against the other teams there. While Snipe slowly losing his HP within the smoke, hoping it will cover in just temporarily, but I don't think that's going to be a good ending. There you go, finally GigFam finished off straight away, and that's going to be the team I didn't predict. It was somebody else. On the side of Boom, hopefully they have enough time to travel inside of a circle. They do have a couple of vehicles being left off by the enemies before. But Udo Alliance fighting against GDGIDS. I'm not sure who Infinity fought against just now, but Rebel Boy having a good view towards the side of Boom, taking on one down, having a bit of problem for the execution. But Boom's, if he moves forward, then it's going to be a clear cut for Rebel Boy finish it up. Yep, there you go.
Something's happening over the Infinity as well. We saw the elimination feed going up, involving them, and all of a sudden the Infinity only left with 2 players. I believe they kind of clashed with Sam9 at some point, and Sam9 got that advantage over the Infinity. It's down to Gartuni and Logan. The duo is going to do it to the end, and Sam9 seems to want more blood.
Here comes the tap with a Mini 14. They should have got one or a couple or more. Logan with a vehicle also on the bike, slowly but whiffed it by Putra. That's going to be a race spray with a Scar L. Is really disappointed as well, as much as we do watching right now. I didn't manage to tap a clear view just now. Bacon Time have a huge hike. Saying it's for Infinity, but I reach it there way before the rest of Infinity make it through. And also there's going to be a prime spot for a lot of guys who want to get themselves a lot of eliminations. On top of Power Grid, GDGIDS versus UDU Alliance next. They got one on GDGIDS before, but UDU Alliance, I'm not sure how much they want to hold this ground, because right now they're not on top of a lot of mountains, and lower ground is always not going to be great in Murama.
Bacon Time, I believe the circle last we saw it was somewhere towards San Martin, and it's still somewhere within that circle, so I can see why this area is a prime position for these teams, and a lot of teams want this. If you're up there, your view is great, and if you have another teammate with you, even if you get knocked down, it's easy for you to reset yourselves. It's hard for any other team to try and end you, so I can see why Bacon Time really wants that. But it's also smart for the Infinity to notice that someone's up there. They don't commit all the way, because if they commit all the way while they're trying to drive up that hill, Bacon Time can just easily shoot them down. So good thing they changed their plans. But what's going to be next, because there are a lot of teams all around them. But speaking about teams around, so it looks like Razy will be the next one from Boom to be gunned down, but not out yet. And at the same time, Boom, they're still tanking out the blue. I don't think they're in a good position. It's more Razy is out.
Gatekeep. Definitely it's going to be a gatekeep, because SLD shooting down on Boom, and they are not inside of the blue zone. They are in the rim of a circle, or just on the outskirts of the rim of a circle. And now I have a bad feeling for Boom. Feels like slowly dropping like flies here, being gatekeep on the other end. Oh, we're looking over Power Grid, where there's going to be a bit of a stalemate between Vampires. Always play such a good position. And Alter Ego have to cut across the side of GDGIDS on top of Power Grid as well. There's like 4 or 5 teams around this same compound. If you actually put yourself in the wrong direction, you're gonna get yourself caught in a trap of battlefield, and you don't want to be that team.
Well, I guess they kind of need to take a little bit of a risk as well because time's not on their side. But anyway, speaking on what's not on their side, the bullets not on their side for our devs from Sem9 will be gunned down. Alter Ego somehow managed to slide their way into the areas of Power Grid, but looking at the circle 700 meters away, they're currently not in it. Euro Alliance, at this point, they're a team that likes to play from the outside to the inside, so they might be bulldozing teams right in front of them. I worry that if they focus too much, if they had that tunnel vision maybe onto Vampire or Face Clan as they try to get into the circle, Alter Ego might be the team to backstab them.
It is so important for the teams to try to snatch Infinity and Bacon time position here. Look at how prime the spot is. Yes, if you are on Loga, you have compound, but you don't have that much view on what's going on up top. Thing is for sort of phase here, trying to take down on GDGIDS off their high horse is going to be quite a feat to do. Infinity versus Vacant Time. Try to snatch away the position, but Sem9, if they manage to climb up here, they can wipe both team out. Vacant Time exchanging with Infinity for the nades, but the valleys, the crypts, the curve here of the mountains, making it just so hard for them. What a steep cliff between these guys to land their shots on. Faith taking it on Snizzle, GDGIDS having a bit of a problem. But it's going to be Shirty spotted out by Guttani, but the spray whiffed it for a bit. GDGIDS, and also we have Faith on the other end. Infinity in the center. They got sandwiched between two teams here.
Ooh, and the Infinity is out at number 15, it seems. Only 2 elimination points in this round. The Infinity, are they losing momentum from yesterday? But we'll need to wait and see as we have a couple more rounds to go today. Now putting focus on the GDGID as they have the high ground advantage together with another team on top of them. And with this kind of position, Daybot, he can hold on for a little bit more. But the bad news is that he's the only player left. There is nothing called knock for him right now. It's only out. So you got to be careful if you get shot down from afar.
Boom. Taking advantage, try to bulldoze everybody from behind with domination of 5 eliminations right now. Shining like diamonds, still breathing, even though they caught themselves in a hard spot before and managed to squeeze out from it. And now try to gatekeep. Boom, and the rest of the team were coming in very late, but SLDs have 1 man down, Alter Ego in between, and both try to be the advantage of a third point. Stand view, saying it's for Bacon Time. Whoever's not on the high ground is digging their own grave right now. NFT and Alter Ego are one of them. And those actually on the high ground, all high and mighty right now, try to pin down and gatekeep whoever's trying to cut across ice. Drop himself. 1 more team eliminated for DBD. Again, a bit too soon there for DBD.
Yeah, number 14 for them. That means no points in this round. Again, DBD. Another disappointing round for them, but now we put focus on the NFT. They're starting to stop Alter Ego from coming in. NFT just in front of them. But Omstar from afar, from the high ground, trying to take out the members of SLD. Sem9 on the left. They are still on the outside of the circle. NFT needs to move, but Renaure gets the high ground advantage. But because he's the only player left for Alter Ego, he's not going to play the gatekeeping role. He's going to play it safe to the end.
Oh. Slippery slope for Adik Look and the rest of Udo Lions playing this very slippery, risky game. Now they got 1, Eagle Esport on the other end. Oh boy, this is such a hard spot for Udo Alliance. Very slippery indeed. And Eagle Esport making sure, I'm not sure if they have enough utilities, but he should toss it over right now. The perfect time. Chua getting on 2 double down. Finish off. Decimated the entirety of Udo Alliance.
Udo Alliance only 2 elimination points in this round. The Eagles will have time to reset, and the Vampires have a compound together with the Circle. Face Clan still has the high ground. Daybot being the last man standing for GDGIDS. He is just going to play this super duper safe. But keep your eyes onto NFT, BN United and Bacon Time around the same area. They will be fighting against each other. Zunos, no one noticed him. Zunos is shooting, and Zunos gets a knockdown to Batman, but because he exposed his position, NFT still a full squad. Zunos managed to get that elimination point before he goes out.
Fast reaction coming up from NFT to clean up the mess behind them. But they need to advance forward. Eagle Esport, they tried to take away Vampire's prime spot here. Definitely the only compound, the strongest there is. And a lot of mountains climber on the sidelines as well. They spot out on phase. GDGIDS, Daybot's on top as well. Well, Vampire's taking the lower ground, but they got quite a good wall to barricade themselves. Sam9 quite far off from the blue zone, but they cannot get up from this really hot pit. Box rush in. It's going to be a splat, and that's it. Sam9 losing Mania, left with Dap and also Dips. It's going to be tough for them to just peek out because Box got the domination over this area right now, but the Blues are closing in very soon.
Oh, Boss Gaming still on the outside of the circle. 1 minute left before the zone closes in. Sam9 has Adibs, Dab with the long range shot to break, tries to get revenge for harm, but not able to connect those shots. At the same time, we can see that SLD is moving on the left, but they have a slope to play with. Trismay with the long range onto Sam9. That will go down.
And SLD want to butt in and nose in this business as well. Box slowly finish off Sam9 off the lines there. But Deb going to be the last one. Shot from afar. It's going to be Gosu also. Finish it off straight away. But GDGIDS fighting against Bacon Time, which are going to be eliminated next. We're down to only 17 within just seconds. And 25 seconds left. It's going to be shrinking even further for the Circle of Empire. Just going to keep the pressure onto the side of SLD. Same goes for Box Gaming. Whoever's not in the center of Empire, taking the reign so far.
Vampire now just needs to defend their location, and they can. They still have a full squad, but speaking about the full squad, it might not be the case right now. As Blue Cam goes down, FaZe Clan with Tony K on the high ground, taking off Blue Cam. This could be an opening now for FaZe Clan to move in, but they still have the circle. Not only that, they have teams to deal with left and right, but the circle doesn't favor them. FaZe Clan will need to move.
Now they have one more team behind FaZe Clan. They need to get rid of GDGIDS before they're being backstabbed here. Eagle Esport, they're being favored by the next circle. They got themselves a bit of a terrain to play with, but not so much covers there. SLD's map spotted at Box Gaming, try to stop them, denying their entrance towards the circle. But Box Gaming themselves are not in the safe zone either, because the moment they step out from this field, it's an open field for or just Vampires to shoot them over.
And they only have a motorbike. Motorbike is so exposed. Not like they have enough exposure just yet. The moment they step out of this shack, that's it, they're gone for. Just look at the amount of teams around them. SLD, there's a high ground as well. GDGIDS, we have Daybot still alive. Daybot can oversee those teams on the outside, on the open field. The moment they move, and they will need to move because the zone is starting to close in. Box Gaming will be pressured by the blue.
GDGIDS, the last member, and Fafel, same goes for NFT. Especially Daybot. The moment he slides down, it's going to be the end for GDGIDS, but he can secure one more as Maps has spotted out a clear view against SLD. This is the time Daybot to try to get more eliminations, but it's a bit too late now as Gosu retaliates, counter-fires from afar, but Gosu being scouted out by Trismay. Not going to giving it off way easy there. FaZe trying to climb down, but Eagle Esport making sure it's going to be a tough journey for them. And F1 bring upon the side of FaZe, but it's not clipping. It's not connecting. Can it explode the vehicle? A bit too late now. Cooking up the nade. And it's going to be a Molotov first. Feels like a perfect tossing within just 20 to 30 meters away. But a bit too lopsided, but Daybot still giving the pressure. Tony K knocked down from FaZe.
Oh, FaZe Clan, somehow they managed to get all their players into the circle. Tony K will need to be picked out shots. Will need to move right now as Vampires, they do not have the circle. Daybot will be pressured from the blue. There's nowhere for him to go. MR5 immediately deleting Daybot. GDGIDS number 4.
Daybot went poof in the air just now. On the side of FaZe, Tony K still bleeding out. It's quite far for the rest of the FaZe trying to help him out. Vampires versus Eagle Esport, who's been holding their ground so well. But the Vampires, can they finally land that chicken here? They're always being in the center of a circle. Spotted out Chua. Perfect angle. Will it be a Kobe? The explosion still not going to be not enough. Chua still have slither of health to work with. F1 is trying to hold his ground, but they have two corners. F1 bombarded by Ravenclaw. MR5 taken down a bit of a hit there, but Stone trying to open up space for Vampires to push forward. But the problem is, it's going to be a three-way war. The spread coming up from FaZe, giving them a bit more space. Eagle Esport caught in between with one player left.
Oh, nade from Ravenclaw to the Eagles. Will it land nicely? The nade will explode, but the nade will not connect yet. Now the spray coming from Ravenclaw will not connect as well. The Eagles, they are still surviving this. The nade from Shrubs now will it connect? No as well. Looks like the Eagles somehow still survive, but Shrubs know exactly where they are. MR5 spots you Vampires on the other side. Tony K coming in, and it's going to be FaZe Clan getting those eliminations in the bag.
This might be FaZe or Vampires. Still going to be a 50-50 3v3 here. Tony K with Lycan on the flank side, where MR5 shooting from the high ground. Slowly forward towards the safe zone, but spotted out by Stone. Stone never misses. That one bullet really clipped quite a number. Make a huge chunk of HP loss instead of MR5. But MR5 tried to stop Stone. Stone's the only problem for MR5. If he's not being guarded, it's going to be FaZe's game because he's got a clear view to the side of Empire Ravenclaw as well. But while the rest of them face Tony K and also Lycan try to open up space forward on the flank, on the left. MR5 trying to get out Tony K! What a nade just now!
Where did the nade come from? They didn't even notice it. Tony K used the slow switch advantage. MR5's here on the high ground, but he needs to move soon. 40 more seconds on the clock, but he knows exactly where Vampires are at. Ravenclaw is the one still active. We managed to pick up his teammate, but Tony K moves in, and it's going to be FaZe Clan finally getting the chicken dinner in the bag.
The team without chicken, but definitely on the top 5, finally proven. You know, the cares of them not getting chicken till the end of everything tournament, even if PMRC finally can get themselves a taste of their chicken dinner for themselves. FaZe Clan, Tony K, what a nice nade. The opening that they needed to enter into the Vampire's lair just now was well worth it. He'd been knocked down before, but he got back up to his feet and make it another go. And FaZe Clan, what a nice tag team play. What a nice teamwork performance just now.
And it's a matter of time for FaZe Clan. They've been consistent. They can take good fights. It's just, you know, sometimes it's a little bit of an unlucky move for them. But then again, it's a matter of time. I do expect them to get the chicken dinner today. And I believe FaZe Clan was my prediction. Yay!
Woo!
I'm the first one to get it right. Yay!
Yay!
FaZe Clan
Congratulations!
and celebration. But yeah, FaZe Clan, I mean, Thai teams, again, they are showing it again and again why they are here at this stage.
You know what? I feel like we might witness all Thai teams getting themselves a chicken within the first week here. Okay, we do have Infinity got himself a chicken, right? Buru Rum, one of it. Now it's all about bacon time. FaZe got them. Who else?
Bacon Time, Vampire.
Empire almost got it as well.
Yeah.
Close enough. There's
Still
Tem
waiting
Entertainment.
for Vampire. Tem Entertainment as well. Yeah, they haven't got it yet. So out of 6, half of them are done. 3 more to go, and all the Thai teams are gotten their own chicken dinner.
I know, is it gonna be a Thai and Indonesian game again for today? We have no clue, but definitely these guys were really having a tough time to actually read out a circle, which is quite hard when it comes to the last few ones, especially in the 5th. No, not really the 5th, the 4th circle. If you're not getting yourself in the high grounds just now, it's really tough because it's going to be sort of a crate there, and the only entry point you have will be guarded heavily by those actually on this high ground. So it's just nowhere else to go if you're not on the high ground during the 4th circle, and that's it. You're doomed yourself to actually be at the foot of a hill.
Yeah, of course it depends on this circle, right? But this kind of circle, I do agree that like the high ground is a prime position, and it's always easier to like move from top to bottom rather than bottom to top, whatever happens at the end of the day. So placing themselves there is minimal risk as compared to being at the lower ground. But here are teams to focus. Our top 4 teams of the previous round, of course, FaZe Clan, they only spent like what, 1 second in the blue, and I believe that was somewhere towards the end. Other than that, the Vampires clean because they got that compound, they had circles, so they didn't really needed to spend time in the blue. But the GDGIDS, because they traveled from somewhere on the right side, so that's why they had to like go through a lot of teams. They spend a little bit more time in the blue, but still managed to get themselves to the top 4. Especially Dayball with that high ground, that kind of position, it's hard to counter upon if he just stay put.
Yep. But back to it is when it comes to the scoreboard in the match ranking. The only team got themselves a double digit here is going to be FaZe, and they got themselves a chicken. This is well deserving. They grind their way into the circle. With the Vampires, I want to respect Vampires a lot because they always try to hold the ground in the center and manage to hold until the top 5 or top 3 in the last minute here. That secures them 17 points. While Eagle Esport again, Eagle Esport SLD rising up their occasion, and Bots Gaming slowly following as well. GDG IDS, we do know they are one of the consistents in the middle bracket, but NFT since yesterday it has been a great day. Same goes for Bacon and Boom, but here comes our MVP. We saw how great this of a player. He is just remarkable, that Nate just now.
If I were to just put like Tony K's picture like a couple of seasons ago, just beside this one, it's so different.
Yeah,
he looks a lot more mature now.
Yeah, he looked a bit boyish back then. Maybe one of the reasons because of haircut.
Yeah.
But this can be the damage is much more average like the usual. We've seen 1,002 the highest, but the 300, not really 300, 33 meters, but the longest elimination in distance. I think that's mostly because of his hand grenade just now that tossed over with the double knockdown.
Yeah, that nade, that was the opening as well for them to finish off their opponent Vampires, and a couple of other knocks as well through nades. I mean, it was a very good game for FaZe Clan. Used their utilities well. Well deserved to be on top if you ask me at this moment. 70 points, 7 points difference with Alter Ego, followed by NFT with 2 points difference, and then we have Vampires next with about 6 points difference, and followed by 4 rivals with only 1 point difference. So overall, the points are not too far away between each other, and of course you want to finish up as high as possible at the end of the day, right? Because you want to get that bonus weekly points to carry over onto the grand finals as moving at all.
I mean, like for up, Boom got himself chicken on the second page here, but it's because their consistency is just a bit of a problem. They're a bit on a roller coaster ride, and they just couldn't get themselves in the top 5 in every single game. It's a different story when it comes to Vampires and for Rivals. Without chicken, they still maintain in the top 5 no matter what. Same goes for GDG IDS. They haven't got themselves any chicken, but they have been maintaining their positions and got a couple of eliminations during the last few rounds. That's more than enough to make sure that they secure themselves to get into the weekly bonus point.
Yeah, GDG is definitely one of those teams that you want to keep an eye on. They are not like, doing like getting chicken dinners back to back and that sort of thing, but I think it's about time as well. That's one of those teams like, now FaZe Clan has got it, so the next could be like GDG or 4 Rivals. I think those are some of the teams that we can expect them to do well and at some point definitely get that chicken dinner. But just to show a little bit of a recap from whatever happened here, so the reason why GDG they spent a lot of time in the blue because they dropped into the areas of Impala and the southern areas, those kind of places, and they had to spend a little bit of time in the blue, but because of their playstyle, they're used to doing a little bit of a later entry. They managed to find their way through, especially with Daybot, solo-handedly bringing their team up to a fairly high finish. That's going to be a 3rd place finish for GDG. So being in that kind of position for Daybot as a solo player, most important is that you cannot get knocked down. There's no way you can do that because it's either death or nothing else. So by being up there, he knows how to position himself, not to overpeak, and that's good. He managed to get a 3rd place finish for his team, and that's way good enough for GDG.
Just to look at this recap just now, the hardest entries coming out from the side of Eagle actually. You know what? I love Eagle Esport these days because how they play have been so ingenious that they know how to place themselves. They're thinking about, their mindset is try to think about what your enemy is thinking right now. And they were having just only one entry point in the low ground. You saw how the creatures now have a sort of a one entry point, that's it. But they managed to squeeze in the last minute regardless of how hard it is. But before we're getting into more game after this, definitely we want to thank our sponsors, which are going to be Realme with the latest chipset of Media Dimensity 8100 5G. It's going to be the GT Neo 3. For you to upgrade your Battlefield experience, you definitely want to have this game. And don't forget to #be_the_one for your TikTok challenge going on all our pages of PubG Mobile, which is going to be quite a number here. We're talking about PubG Mobile MY official, PubG Mobile esports.my, and PubG Mobile esports.sg, and PubG Mobile official PH for the Philippines. And you guys definitely hungry right now for your chicken. Don't forget to sign up with a Grab Food, which can be our official food delivery partner, 50% off if you use the code PUBGM. That's going to be all in capital letters, PUBGM, and it's only for new users. Okay, so we're going to had our dinner with our Grab Food just now, so we're going to see you guys after this break.
Chúng ta lại gặp nhau rồi. Cảm giác được mời thẳng vào mùa này với tư cách là nhà vô địch mùa trước chắc không phải ai cũng hiểu được. Vậy nên mục tiêu của chúng tôi thì cũng đơn giản thôi, bảo vệ chức vô địch.
เรื่องนั้นมันก็หลายเดือนมาแล้วนะแต่ได้ข่าวว่าพวกนายเกือบไม่ได้แชมป์ในรายการเวียดนามทำคะแนนเท่ากับอันดับที่2แล้วยังจะมีหน้ามาบอกว่าจะรักษาแชมป์เอาไว้เนี่ยนะ
Brother, I advise you all to be more realistic, set small goals like us, something like getting first place for 4 weeks straight.
Hai boy, kita ketemu lagi ternyata. Waktu liga kemarin kelihatannya gampang banget ya untuk menang. Sekarang kita ketemu di SEA, itu pasti udah nggak hype lagi nih.
ทีมของพวกนายอ่ะมาเพื่อล้างแค้นแต่ทีมของผมอ่ะมาเพื่อทวงคืนเกียรติยศต่างหาก
Korang tak payah beria lah. Si spring lepas pun saya tak nampak korang. Kali ni korang rasa korang boleh ke?
ทีมของพวกนายอ่ะเข้าไปได้2 ครั้งอ่ะอย่าพูดมากเลยรอกินกระสุนของผมในสนามดีกว่า
Seingat gua di aturan nggak ada poin buat tali sejarah deh. Kalian percaya diri banget ya. Gua jadi nggak sabar lihat muka kalian waktu aku kalahin.
รอบนี้มีทีมไทยเข้าร่วมทั้ง6 ทีมแค่นี้ก็ดูออกแล้วป่ะว่าภูมิภาคไหนแข็งแกร่งที่สุด
Mùa này có nhiều đội hơn thì đã sao? Mùa trước Thái Lan cũng 5 team nhưng nhà vô địch vẫn là DX đấy thôi.
Tapi peluang korang untuk kali ni nak juara 1/16 terlalu nipis lah.
This GD a bit overconfident, but no matter where you go, I will make sure you guys have the backdrop of defense control.
ทุกคนน่ะคิดว่ายูไฮเป็นเด็กอัจฉริยะแต่พวกผมไม่คิดงั้นนะพวกผมเองอ่ะก็เป็นตัวแทนประเทศไปเจอในสนามดีกว่า
Don't stress so much. Losing to us is actually not that embarrassing.
Gue yang di akhir gue tutup ya. Kalian semua tim teratas dari setiap region. Kata-kata tauntingnya juga udah gue dengar semua. Gue tunggu kalian semua di PMGC.
Dear PUBG Mobile players, welcome to the new version. In this video, let's take a look at the game's new and improved social system. In the new version, we've fully upgraded the gifting system. An even greater array of awesome gifts are now available. First, we've added popularity rankings and clout value. This measures an individual's generosity by how many gifts they send to other players. As a player's clout ranking increases, they'll unlock prestigious rank perks. Go see which of your friends is the most generous. In this update, we've added Guardian Gifts. Guardian Gifts last for a period of time. Once sent, the players form a Guardian relationship to reflect the significant connection between the players. There will be a dedicated ranking for Guardian duration. The gift wall is another new feature. After players receive gifts, the gift wall will display the progress of gifts received. When a player gets all the gifts of a particular theme, this will unlock a themed medal. Furthermore, in the new version, the player who sends the most gifts becomes a gift sponsor. A ton of new gifts have been added to the shop, including those with special effects. Go and buy a gift for your best friend. In this update, we have revamped the synergy system. We have created a new synergy anniversary gift. During special anniversaries, players that have built connections will receive rewards via in-game mail. What's more, players that have built connections can obtain synergy ranking rewards. We have added a synergy recruitment system to help players post recruitment information and add friends. Go and recruit some friends. In this update, the number of friends a player can add has increased from 200 to 300. Friends can now be pinned to the list. In order to make it easier for players to use team reservations, we have lowered the threshold for making a friend reservation. The synergy requirement has dropped from 50 to 5 points. In the new version, reservation info will still be displayed in the chat window. Players can send more kinds of invite messages and view the real-time status of reservations. At the same time, the in-game display for reservation requests is now clearer. Don't miss a reservation invitation from a friend. For Team Up Reservation Chat, we have added a quick chat feature to send Team Up reservations. This will allow players teaming up in the lobby to quickly send common messages. Try it for yourself. These are all the major improvements to the social systems in this update. There is more content for players to explore in the game. If you want to learn more, follow our official PUBG Mobile community. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you next time.
Have you gotten your hands on the new weapons in Noosa yet? Let's start with the tactical crossbow and firebolts. Firebolts are a new type of bolt that can only be used with the tactical crossbow. Ordinary crossbows can only be used to ambush one enemy at a time, while the tactical crossbow and firebolts can set certain buildings on fire for blazing tactics. This is especially useful against enemies who are hiding inside. Next up is our highlight, the NS2000 shotgun. It uses 12-gauge shells when hip firing and shoots single-round slugs when aiming down sights. If you encounter an enemy at close range, don't bother aiming down the sight. Just take them down with one shot. Even if you're fighting alone in an urban area, you can easily wipe out all enemies by yourself at the tap of a button. You can also aim down sights and use the single-shot mechanics to easily eliminate enemies at a distance. Noosa is a small map, so the play zone shrinks really quickly. Not only is it important to offer exhilarating gunfights, exploring the map has to be fun too. That's why we prepared the quad for you. Climbing slopes is a piece of cake with the quad. Now, you don't have to avoid rocks anymore. Ignore the terrain and charge right up to enemies whenever you see them. They won't have the time to react after hearing you. The quad is fast and doesn't flip over easily. It doesn't matter even if it flips over, as it can recover quickly. Call your friends and try it now. Zip lines in the elevator can both be used to help move about. So what are the interesting ways to use them? Zip lines usually appear at places of high elevation, such as the roofs of buildings or at the top of a mountain, allowing players to quickly travel between them. Players can quickly search for supplies and escape the blue zone. When being pursued by enemies, a zipline can be used to quickly get away. It's even possible to drop from a zipline halfway through to catch enemies by surprise. Furthermore, ziplines can be destroyed. Players can use the zipline to quickly reach the other side, then destroy it to prevent enemies from giving chase. Damaged ziplines also make good locations for ambush, as enemies may try and repair them. The elevator can be found in the tallest building of Telepack Town. The elevator can be used to quickly go between different floors. In actual battle, players can use the elevator to quickly get to the roof and to intercept enemies that come up from the lower levels. It's even possible to hide in the elevator and wait for unsuspecting enemies to enter to score a surprise elimination. Ziplines in the elevator are sure to help players out in battle and create all kinds of unexpected situations. So play PUBG Mobile and try it out.
Hi everyone! In the PUBG Mobile version 2.2 update, Erangel is getting an overhaul with changes to the map, vehicles, and modes. Without further ado, let's find out what these changes are. In this update, we made several changes to the map. First, the hospital. It's one of the bigger buildings in Erangel. In this update, the following changes were made to the hospital. How to get in and out of the hospital, its structure, nearby objects, and the vegetation surrounding the hospital. Veteran players should know that some of the fences of the hospital can be scaled to enter the hospital. The ones near the ridges are how most players enter the hospital. Now, 2 spots along these fences will be blown up, and players can enter the hospital area through the gap directly. The building itself also got a new entrance. Players that are on the ground can enter the first floor of the hospital directly through the newly added damaged wall. Those who parachute to the hospital can land on the roof and descend to the 3rd floor immediately. These changes will make it easier for players to spot the entrances and streamline their movements in this area. Those attacking and defending will know where they should focus on as well. On the inside, we simplified the structure of the hospital. Originally, the 3 floors had different layouts, and there were many rooms on each floor. So, searching the rooms was very tedious, because players had to go into each room. After the update, the 3 floors are now more or less the same. Some rooms are now also connected, making it easier for players to remember and to search the rooms for supplies. As for the surroundings, we also made some improvements. We added abandoned ambulances and ruined medical crates to the areas surrounding the hospital, so now it feels more authentic. We placed some objects at the entrance of the hospital so that it wouldn't be too empty. This gives players heading toward the hospital a covered area to protect themselves, so they are not directly exposed to enemies inside the hospital. Outside the fences on the side of the hospital, we added a new climbable spot. Players can hide here, or they can scale the fence to enter the hospital. As for the fences by the ridge, since there are now 2 gaps to enter the hospital, we've reduced the number of objects in this area to make it more visible. So now, both attackers and defenders can see each other clearly. Further out from the hospital, we've added some new vegetation, so that players hanging around the hospital will have more places to hide. Milta Power also saw some changes that are mostly in the generator area. Players who are familiar with this area should already know that this section was quite a choke point and was not easy to get in and out of. Those who entered either came out the same way or had to take a detour to the other 2 buildings. In this update, we added a new entrance on the 1st floor to make this area more reachable and easier for players to get in and out. The layout was also modified. We simplified the complex floor plan so that players can see more and plan their routes better. When battles break out in the generator building, players will have more offensive options, making these battles more exciting. In this update, 3 new ports will be added to Erangel. The first port is by Ferry Pier. We added a port here, as well as increased the amount of resources in the area. The Ferry Pier will soon be more abundant in supplies. The 2 desolate beaches to the southwest of Farm and to the south of Sosnovka military base will also get new ports. They will both contain a good amount of resources. Players will also find boats at these ports, so they can quickly travel to another location. So, keep these places in mind, because they'll make for a great landing spot. During the previous themed modes, players really enjoyed the special crates. In the new version, we'll add special supply kits to classic mode. Players will be able to find special supply kits in buildings. There are 3 types: medical, tokens, and military supplies. The resources in these supply kits are very good, so keep an eye out for them when searching. In the new version, bikes will become a staple vehicle on Erangel. In some of the more remote areas, players will find bicycle sheds. Each shed will have 4 bikes initially, and they're first come, first served. These bikes can be collapsed and put into the backpack, so they're really convenient for traveling to other locations. In addition to the sheds, players will be able to find bikes in other areas. With a bike, players no longer have to worry about being too far from the play zone. In the new Erangel, there will be flash shops. They will spawn randomly in outdoor areas. Those who find one are in for a treat, because there are tons of random discounted items. So, keep an eye out for flash shops during matches. Running out of fuel is one of the worst things that can happen while driving a vehicle. Erangel's gas stations will become functional for refueling vehicles. For the cost of just a few tokens, you'll get a full tank of gas. Find a gas station and try it out. These are the main changes in the version 2.2 update. For more details, don't forget to follow the official PUBG Mobile community. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you next time.
Hi everyone! In PUBG Mobile version 2.2, we'll officially release a new Battle Royale map, Nusa. Nusa is a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer tropical island. The island is bright and sunny and has beautiful beaches, rolling hills, and dense vegetation. In addition to the natural scenery, it also has many areas that have a unique style and combat characteristics. Without further ado, let's take a closer look now. As a whole, being a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer map, Nusa is the smallest map PUBG Mobile has released to date. It also has the most compact structure among all the Battle Royale maps. We can make some comparisons by looking at the data. Erangel is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers in size, and 100 players participate in each match. This means there is an average of 1.56 players per square kilometer. In Nusa, an average of 32 players fight in a 1 square kilometer area. Conflicts are intense, and players will start shooting right after landing. In the southern part of the map is a heart-shaped island. 2 paths connect this island with the gorgeous Pink Beach. The Ferris wheel and hot air balloon are both located on Pink Beach, which highlight the romantic atmosphere of the beach. But keep in mind that the terrain of Pink Beach is rather open and has little cover within a certain area. If players want to move around Pink Beach, they can do so with the help of smoke grenades to obscure enemies' vision, or push the beach balls on the beach and use them as moving cover. But if you do so, remember to keep an eye on their durability. In short, Pink Beach is beautiful and romantic, but you must take care if you plan to spend some time there. Bulan Bay is located in the northwest part of the island, and the coast is quite low there. The cliffs on both sides have a large height difference, and players can move between them with a zip line, utilizing the advantages of high ground. Players at the top can observe where enemies are moving in the bay. Meanwhile, players in the bay need to move around covertly. There is also a cavern connected to the sea in the northern part of Bulan Bay. Players can jump there directly. The cavern extends in all directions, and players can explore this area. In addition to the natural scenery, Nusa also has many urban areas, of which the largest is Telepak Town, which is located in the southeastern part of the map. Buildings are scattered everywhere in the urban area, and close-range street fights can break out at any time. There are premium apartment buildings in Telepak Town. These buildings have elevators that can be used, which adds another dynamic to searching, attacking, and defending in the building. For example, players can set up an ambush in the elevator. By getting in and not selecting a floor, they can then give enemies a surprise when they enter to use the elevator. The rooftops of buildings in Telepak Town are also connected by zip lines, which gives players more flexibility in urban battles. If the zip line is destroyed, it can be repaired with a tactical crossbow. I believe Telepak Town will give players a unique 3D alley combat experience. If you like fast-paced battles and enjoy thrilling shootouts right after landing, you can land at the Science Center at the heart of the map. The design of the modern orbital satellite roof feels really high-tech. The Science Center has 3 floors. Each floor is spacious and contains lots of supplies, which attracts many players to loot this area. As you can imagine, very intense battles will break out between these floors. At the top of the Science Center is a rooftop with a multi-layer structure. Players can look far into the distance from here for a great visual advantage. However, they'll also be exposed as there's nowhere to hide. If you want to land directly on the rooftop, you must check if there are enemies nearby to ensure your own safety. In short, if you're confident in your close-range shooting skills, you're welcome to land at the Science Center. Like the Science Center, Flame Village is also located at the center of the map. The terrain is quite low there, and the village is surrounded by mountain slopes. There are many huts in the village, and there are many places where you can stand on the beams of the huts. Players can climb or jump onto the beams to ambush other players. But there's one thing you mustn't forget. A tactical crossbow used with firebolts can set the huts on fire. This will expose the players hiding in them. Of course, firebolts will burn and deal damage to enemies when they are hit. In addition to huts, there are also brick buildings that cannot be set on fire in Flame Village. They occupy a large area, contain plenty of supplies, and are high conflict areas. If you're confident in your shooting skills, you can choose to land at Flame Village or Science Center at the heart of the map. It'll also be convenient for moving to areas along the edge. Other than the previously mentioned areas, this island also has winding and rugged mountain paths, a shipyard where the whistle roars, a regal resort with wide and open terrain, Sunset Street, which is planted with many banana trees, Crystal Bay, which has secret rooms, and more. These are all gorgeous locales that can bring players different gaming experiences. After hearing the above introduction, I'm sure players already understand what makes Nusa so uniquely fun. Lots of supplies for fast looting. The verticality of the terrain increases the strategic depth of battles. And the 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer size makes firefights inevitable. What are you waiting for? Gather your friends and enjoy a rowdy vacation on Nusa. For more details, don't forget to follow the official PUBG Mobile community. See you next time!
GT Neo 3, Neo Speed Awakens.
Yeah.
hashtag be the one. Don't forget to follow our official PUBG Mobile pages, PUBG Mobile My Official, PUBG Mobile Esports.my, PUBG Mobile Esports.sg, PUBG Mobile Official PH, and our official food delivery partner, that is GrabFood. And so far today, out of the 2 rounds that we have played, it has been an amazing day for the Thai teams.
Yep, there's only one flag waving out right now, which is going to be coming out from the Thais. We're waiting. Now, we did actually have a chat behind the scenes just now. What happened if all the flags flying today is going to be coming out from Thais? And then some of them on the other side of the channel, which is going to be on the BM stream, is that no, after this is going to be all Malaysian flags. I don't know, man. I mean, like, we haven't seen a lot of Vietnam flags yet. We do see a lot of yesterday's Indonesian team. Out of 5 games, they won 3 out of it, especially when it comes to Erangel. But we still have one more of Miramar after this.
Yeah, one more Miramar and then 2 Erangels back-to-back. That's going to be our format today. After the 1 Miramar and 1 Erangel, we'll be taking a 5-minute break, so just stay tuned for that. And before we head into our second Miramar for today, a little bit of a recap on the most knockouts right now. It's going to be Daybot #1. He got himself that high ground. And Face Clan, Tony K, who just got the chicken dinner, 3 knockouts. And we have Stone, that second place finish as well, 3 knockouts for him.
Smart friend. He's a very smart player just now.
Oh, okay. All right.
You just realized that, don't you?
Yeah. I mean...
But back towards the most damage is going to be Tony K, and Daybot fall to second place instead of first just now. Chua, Eagle Esport Chua, and also Namshin have been really under a spotlight for the couple of days here.
Yeah, Chua, yesterday he did well as well, playing as a duo up until his second place finish together with Namshin. This time, his turn to be on the spotlight as one of the top 3 most damage, 641. Tony K stayed at 4th round, 727. But here is going to be the next few rounds, the next round actually. So it's A, C, D, and E will be playing. Group B will be taking a break. So the Infinity, BN United, Alter Ego, and Yudo Alliance, they're going to chill for the next round.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Yudo Alliance. I don't know how is this going to be a break or not, because they did just manage to get themselves that momentum in the past 2 games.
Yeah.
So the moment you hit a break, it's either you can accelerate again after this, or you're just going to be decelerating. So have to wait and see if that break going to pay them well or not. But definitely for this time, we're talking about no Group B, so Infinity is not there anymore. We did had a bit of a backstage chat with all the channels and all the customers, including Cloud is there as well. We talked about how the spot for some teams has been changed depending which group playing and which group is not.
Yeah, and because they play a round robin, that has to be the case, right? But what's not going to change is for you guys, this experience, this new experience inside of Nusa, and it involves the new tactical crossbow. And if you saw during the advertisement, while we had that longer break, you would have seen how it's used. So you can use it to shoot to the one of those poles, and you can create like a flying fox onto some of the strategic areas, and from there you can get elimination points based on wherever you are.
And also, don't forget, there's already a new pass coming up from you guys, the latest Royal Pass 15, which is going to be the Clairvoyant Fox set and the Midas Fortune set. So this is going to be available right now, so you guys can actually just grab it, and don't forget to do all the missions as well as log in every single day. But we do have more sets coming up here.
Yeah, we have the Ultimate set, and of course this is the first time that we have a double Ultimate set to spin available now. So the Spectral Swan set is available together with the Cosmic Inquisitor set, and this was teased the last time we had the PMRC, the one that had a cracked background, and now it's out and official for you guys to get in game to keep as a permanent set, and of course to flex it out to your friends.
Okay, now we're finally talking about business here. It's going to be back to its Miramar. Now, definitely some teams change a drop spot, especially when it comes to Malaysian teams. They're trying to adapt about the situation, especially rotation-wise, because always, every single team, they try to grind themselves up to just adapt to as the current meta. They got caught in between during the transition of between the circles, especially third to fourth phase of the circle. For the first phase, so far, not much except for Sunhawk earlier today. We got a bit of a skirmishes, and that's just it. The others are like sort of, you know, I know your territory, I know your mark, so we're going to respect that for now.
Yeah, I think DVD doesn't want to remember the San Hao.
I need to remind them.
Yeah,
Man.
out in about like 1 minute and 12 seconds.
The shortest.
Yeah, the shortest. You can't
New
go
record.
any lower than that. Yeah.
They got a record. Yeah, one of the record holder.
Yeah, the Razzie Award, the award that nobody wants, right? But anyway, despite them lasting a little bit longer, but actually a lot longer than 1 minute and 12 seconds in round 2, they still went out at number 14 without any elimination points. So for DVD itself, I think they're the only team right now to not get anything at all.
That's kind of true. Aside from BN United, I think like BN United has really stepped up their game here. We're talking about them trying to bring the fights more, but it's just when it comes to team comps, feels like a bit messy in certain places. Just need a bit of a polishing. I think they will be okay by end of week number 1. And also speaking of week number 1 performance, Infinity today has been very quiet. But the one that actually shine bright is going to be the Shining Like Diamond. Shine Like Diamond team SLD really performed quite well first and second day, including NFT. NFT have been really great and boom. Now this is going to be the 3 teams that I think that they start to sort of feel comfortable with this league right now. But we still too early to say anything about it because, you know, some teams are just reading out for the first couple of days.
Yeah, like what Bomburu said as well, that will be the case for the Xavier, which is currently at number 19, by the way. But for the next round, this is what we predict. So we did talk about like, oh, Thai teams, okay. What if today, okay, with 3 more rounds to go, okay, Buriram got the chicken dinner already.
You got it late, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but I got face scan correct, so that's going to be 1 in the bag. But with 3 more rounds to go, if like Tamil team starts first and then another Thai team and another Thai team, a different one, then they would complete their mission of all Thai teams getting the chicken dinner.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's true. And it happened today for every single match Thai's getting it. I mean, like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I know, right?
Tam Entertainment, when you ask about this team, a lot of the feedback coming out from the players is going to be they are one heck of a team. One tough cookie to bring down easily because they are so well when it comes to getting fight. It's just the hardest place for them to actually get is in the top 5 last few circles because they have been trying to force a fight too many times.
Yeah, I guess maybe trying to adapt to the meta, but maybe they just couldn't. But so it depends on situations as well because other teams try to do the same. So it's kind of like positive equals to negative. Oh, well, putting out a math theory there. But anyway, so it's going to be round 2 Miramar because of the grouping change. After this, we'll be seeing Group B taking a break, but we still have like Group C who has a lot of firepower in them. The Eagles, Space Clan, NFT. Big teams here in Group C is still in this, so that means that it could still disrupt a lot of other teams' type of play.
That's kind of true, especially we mentioned about Group C, right? The moment they are not playing, it feels a bit quiet. But when they are in the game, it's going to be all over the place, especially Eagle Esport. We have to keep an eye for this team. They always drop around Chumasera. But this time, I'm not sure how it will fare because it's going to be a different group entirely. We don't have Group B. But FaZe definitely want to get more numbers here. NFT and Sam9, they had a really rough spot for the Malaysian teams as well. Can they make a comeback when it comes to the second day? Let's head into our second Miramar of the day right here, right now.
Here we go, Miramar. The second Miramar for today. Before we move on to the last 2 games that's going to be played in the Erangel. So looks like it's going to be a southern side flight path. I think it's going to cut across the southern side. So Chumasera is easily accessible. That means Eagles wouldn't have a problem to go there. Gig Fam, however, they're a little bit of a nomad. El Pozo usually one of their top spot. Yesterday they dropped it to San Martin. And now looking at the current scenario, going straight into San Martin might be a little bit difficult. They're heading towards La Drillera. So change there for Gig Fam again.
And for the one dropping on north, I think it's going to be ended up on top of El Pozo, the nearest they can actually go. But after they try to find a couple of vehicles, first like of area, like you mentioned. But also, this is going to be depends on the circle. The circle up north is going to be a lot of teams really fighting for vehicles from the start here. For Sam9, feels like they want to go for maybe Power Grid, the way they are actually moving. SLD might actually go into the side of water treatment, or in between just Hacienda de Patron, depending how much they can just float over towards that side. We have Buriram. Oh well, there you go. Feels like we might ended up near to the last circle. Last one was Crater Fields, mind you. But this one, it feels like maybe in between the Crater Field water treatment, even Hacienda de Patron, those high mountains.
Yeah, basically the high mountains just outside of Craterfield, that will definitely be one of the hot spots or the prime position. Look at this current circle. And the Geek fan is actually very familiar with that. They used to drop around the areas of La Cabrera, and one of the checkpoints they like to go to is those high grounds just on the right side of it. I believe that with this kind of first drop for them, La Cabrera, looking at what they just did, they immediately got a vehicle. Looks like they do plan to go up north anyway. Expect them to loot quickly inside of La Cabrera, and then they will head towards one of the high grounds on the middle of the circle.
True. And also teams, just now, the flight path itself is more toward the southern side of the map. So it shows that a lot of teams dropping there as well. So they might actually try to rotate there as fast as possible or as slow as they can be. Because right now, if you cannot get in as fast, you couldn't find vehicle, it's best to actually play the outer circle because it's just too much at stake there. They're just jeopardizing regarding the transition later on, including now the one that actually in the middle of the map, which is going to be including Vampire, Sam9, these teams, like even FaZe Clan. They might actually try to get in there as fast as possible, but you guys can also just drop this QR code and try and take it with a picture or camera right now, because it's your turn to actually be one of the new legacy bringing into the next PMPL 2023, which you actually might have a shot if you can qualify yourself in the PMCC.
Yep, another route for you to get into the next season of PMPL. Of course, that goes to PMNC, and then there will be a opportunity to move towards PMPL. But of course, for you to know the exact details of that, do stay tuned. When it's going to happen, you can check out the social medias of PubG Mobile as well while you're at it. But focusing onto this game, 4 Rivals, another team that is currently up there without the chicken dinner, mind you, and they've been performing fairly consistently. So that's another team for you to keep an eye on.
Yep, and also one of the furthest having their journey just now because of the flight path. They are one of the team that love to drop up north, which can be Chris Deville. But I'm not sure where Boom is right now. I want to see where Boom is, because Boom sometimes they just randomly drops whenever they want to be. So usually it's going to be Tierra Bronca, which is going to be nearby on top of a 4 Rivals. But so far we haven't seen any of those two teams clashes yet. Aside of Gig Fam, feels like they are at the rim of circle. They haven't been doing great at all the past 2 days for Gig Fam.
Yeah, not at all, in fact. And it's a very different performance for them as compared to the PMPMY GPH. They were wrecking everyone, and they broke the record of getting #1 every week during the league, moving on to the into at least a first pager.
That's true. And this is really awkward for us to actually, without BN United, we're looking at these Xaviers as the last place there. Same goes for DBD. Now, DBD used to be the team that's really consistent. Like, always got themselves in a middle bracket. Never this low, but they had this kind of days before. But they kind of getting their momentum when it comes to the, second week. Usually, it's a bit late for them. But there's a lot of big teams down there that we are kind of surprised they haven't got their debut yet in this league. They are not waking up yet. Back to the side of water treatment, we do have Box Gaming here, but feels like they won't be, clashing, because most of the teams right now, their main focus and main objectives is going to be finding vehicles first, because of the flight path really contradicts towards the circle.
Kind of smart for the Xavier to follow their route, considering that the Infinity is not playing this round, so they kind of use that way. So that's okay for them. The possibility of them bumping into the Infinity or any other team is a little bit lower. And it's not like they are doing a slow rotation. Their rotation is pretty fast. But now we put focus on DBD, and you mentioned about DBD. Again, this could be a 3rd time in a row. Bad start for them. They had to sacrifice one player for some reason doing the scouting work, and the point went to Buriram United.
Buriram slowly rising here. But at the same time, I'm not sure where are the rest of DBD though. Why is it too far off for them? These Avis, what happened to be clashing with FaZe? is what we mentioned before when there's only one direction up north there. And Face Tony K spotted out Frankie, and there's only one tree in between. I don't feel like it's going to be enough for Frankie to survive, but the rest of the team definitely will just keep on moving forward since it's a bit too late for them to actually do a bit of damage control. Two teams lost 2 men quite early on, and 2 teams playing in the blue zone. Still, it's going to be GDGIDS. DBD just now was in the blue zone, but the minute to squeeze in the last minute.
Xavier had to lose another player very, very early on. This will definitely affect their motivation. I mean, they had a good plan. They know where to rotate, but unfortunately, they had to bump into a team that's currently hard, that's Face Clan, and the points given to them. This will definitely affect not only the way they play, but also their motivation towards the rest of the round. So they need to do like what the Infinity did like yesterday. Like even with 3 players very early on, they still managed to fight their way to get the chicken dinner. Now they're going to share the same hill area as Sam9, but then again, as long as Rabbids doesn't get knocked, he should be fine.
Yeah, the effort being put in here. Oh, there's going to be a bit of descent. Closing off Ravis. Kind of stuck in that corner for a bit with his vehicle. Yep, he's going to park there just right now. And he just gave up. You know what? That buggy going to be there for quite some time there. Yep. That just happened. That happens when you trying to against the gravity. It's going to be physics in PUBG Mobile. And on the BD side, it's going to be going up towards the north, Torre Ahomad. I have a feeling they want to rotate, maybe cutting across the Oasis or maybe on top of La Correria and just going down from there. So I'm not sure if NFT is still going to link us around La Correria or not. But that's kind of a smart move because it's always every single game, right? There's not many players coming up from the north side. But Eagle Esport fought U-High. It's going to be clean execution, feels like, because GeekFam too far to revive here.
I didn't expect GeekFam to come out to this high ground. Because that's what they normally do, and but it feels like their timing this time is a little bit slow. Probably their timing is okay, but the Eagles, they're faster. They happen to be there first, and they spot up U-High. U-High went up, got a surprise, and got shot down. And if you're the only one up there, it's very difficult for your teammates to come back you up, and you're pretty much a goner. You can't go down.
There's one more team fighting, and skirmishes happens for NFT versus SLD. Ramoon's on the ground here. SLD got 2 men knocked down. It's going to be 2-2-1 trade for now. Bron cooking up the nade. Feels like a drop right on top of SLD.
Whoa!
A perfect 1A Kobe.
Wow.
That's going to be first team eliminated. SLD, we just praised them today, and this happened.
I'm impressed. That's like total 6 cents to toss that nade. He didn't even get a good vision on where exactly his opponent was at, and the nade landed nicely. Wow, that was amazing. That was just yummy. What a delicious nade.
True. But now back towards this area of crater fields. There's a lot of hills there, and a steep one as well. FaZe tried to revive. Rabies dropped himself sliding down the corner, back into the pit. Oh, Rabies.
Wait, what? And he was the last one.
Yep. He slipped down.
What? Okay.
It's already the incident with the buggy before. And now this.
Yeah. His buggy had to be stuck there, and there's no way for him to get that buggy. And
no, he just left the buggy just and trying to climb again.
Because the buggy was stuck, there was no way for him to move it. But now we move over to Putra. Putra should be able to win this. And yes, he will against Razy. He had a little bit of an elevation advantage to shoot. I just had to talk about Xavier again. Like we talked about, we're talking about their motivation, and it just shows like they don't have an effort in this round, and it was wasted for Xavier.
Oh, everybody tried to climb to the highest ground, caught accident in between. Boom. They lost 1 man in the process as well. A lot of teams tried to get on the high ground of Craterfield. I think it might be the last few circles there. Whatever it's not, it's actually the mountains on the outskirts of Craterfields, where a lot of Team Bacon Time park themselves there. NFT is already there. Box Gaming and Vampires is in the center. Buriram gonna come in very late on the northern side. Same goes for GDG Ideas coming up from Tower Ahomada. Tam Entertainment will join and might have a clash with 4 rivals. Whilst Eagle Esport chasing the tails of GeekFam, we do have Boom, who kind of separated quite thin in between themselves, and Sam9 right across them. So maybe they've been gatekept by the side of Sam9. So that's why they kind of move on the northern side towards La Cabrera.
Ooh.
All the way. My God, Crater Field is going to be a dead yard.
I like this so much. This is not a circle that we get all the time. This is rare. It's rare for it to go all the way up. And this will be an opportunity for our teams to adapt because they're so used to playing on this high ground, which was the prime position in the previous circle. But the moment the circle moves away, it's going to be a challenge for them. And the challenge is going to be between FaZe Clan and Bacon Time.
FaZe. Let's spot out Venturis. Yep. Bacon Time. A bit hard for them. They need to climb down here. It's not worth fighting at all around this area. It's not even inside of a circle. And it's really a steep slope to just slide down. So they have to be extra careful. Well, the Xavier Strafe is definitely showing us a lesson there. So they don't want to repeat that sort of mistake for Bacon Time. They don't want to overcommit. While FaZe still shooting, Shirty is trying to climb down as careful as possible. Sam9, Bacon Time, Gig Fam going a different route entirely. Feels like they won't engage into sort of...
Or Buriram United at least, so probably they bump into each other there. Gig Fam on the other hand managed to get into the circle, but 7-9 happened to be in the same compound. But there's still a lot of space to play. With this kind of circle and this kind of compound, there's still a lot of room for them to go about, a lot of compounds for them to play, and Gig Fam choose to play a little bit safer considering that they don't have their main fragger with them U-High.
But Tam Entertainment got themselves this warehouse, but it's a risky one because so many windows, so many open space. The moment they step out, it's going to be an open plane. Boom, trying to target down towards the sort of DBD. Zix on the ground already. I think he tried to climb down just now. We got shot along the process. But I'm not sure where are the rest of them, but it feels like they start to join in and move in unison right now. And boom, spot out Zix, finish off. It's going to be Boo Boo Hoo on the other side entirely. That was a nice flanking coming up from the side of Boom. But Buriram a bit frustrated they couldn't get away with that one elimination, be stolen away by the other teams. We're now heading over to La Cabrera, where we have a bit of an urban style war between Box Gaming, 4 rivals, and there's one more team on the left side there.
This area should be somewhere by the somewhere in the middle, maybe a little bit down south of the middle point of the circle. So I can see why a lot of teams want to go there, and of course they have their own compound, so it's perfect for now. As long as they're within the circle, they definitely stay put. They'll chill for now because it's a good position to be in. For these teams, Eagles, and boom, Eagles, wow! Sneaking in from behind, getting that elimination, and the circle moved away from everybody.
Yep, but it's going to be Buram getting the center and Boom as well. DBD joining in the last minute on the southern part. Nobody coming up from the north. And Eagle Esport, I'm loving how they just so smart, placing themselves in a place where nobody can think of, and always backstabbing every single team who's too focused on what's in front of them. On the side of this down, if they move too fast here, it's going to be all hell break loose because NFT and Vampires, even Box, might have a bit of a fight against Buriram right now.
You know what? This circle is so rare. I can imagine the comms for all these teams. They'll be like, where are we going to go? How are we going to play this? Because you don't get this circle all the time. And what kind of terrain is it on top of there? What's available? What kind of compounds? What kind of shacks? I mean, it's a lot for the teams to discover. And Mika discovers the end of the bullet from the Eagles. He'll be eliminated next. And now the duo, the OG duo of Geek Fam, Snipes and Damroot, they're going to play it till the end.
Now Sam9 now with a full party coming in. It's going to be a whole squad of Sam9 crossing over. And the worst part with this kind of terrain, there's not much too high of a ground that you can actually take as a prime spot, unless you've got yourself a compound. Eagle Esport spot out Sam9, open fires, Namchi giving his positions away. Definitely the rest of Sam9 will not eager enough to transition as fast as possible when they hit the gunshot, but Kick Fam taken out on Sam9 dips, who's the scouter in front, and finish off by Damroot from afar. While looking at this state, Sam9 definitely want to change their rotation or take it a bit slow.
But the Eagles need to reset quickly as Chua is currently down together with F1.
Boom, already being the gatekeeper. The moment Eagle Esport just rushed in and they managed to. What a nice attempt of flushing out Boom just now. is being eliminated, even though Boom got there first. But Eagle Esports is really good when it comes to flushing out compounds. FaZe, on the other hand, are going to meet up with Tam Entertainment on this warehouse. We have Box Gaming on the other and Boom on the other end as well. Mormon spraying out. What a nice spray coming up from Mormon. Taking out Tony KM, MR5 there. And now down to Lycan. And also one more teammate of FaZe. Really trying to help us. Not enough on Zen. My God, with Asso. Moment, these guys just know what to do for Tam Entertainment.
A little bit of karma there for FaZe Clan. They eliminated the vampires using nades, and now looks like Tam Entertainment is the one bringing it back to them. But now we move over to Buriram United. A long rotation for them. Now they're going up against Box Gaming. We got Tiger right at the forefront. Box Gaming, they're trying to reset themselves. My Name for Me is still steady. Kengzo is taking care of the other angle from afar. He's playing the damn boot role, basically, the support role.
Look at how crowded the southern side of the circle here. Buriram split it into 2-2 formation, and they got the most of the circle. It's going to be 50% taken by Buriram only. But GDGIDS tried to take down on Box Gaming here. While Tiger tried to take down on Box Gaming as well. But they have to be careful. Bacon Time and NFT slowly creeping behind. Tam Entertainment slowly crushing and bulldozing, moving forward. Even got themselves an airdrop. Those coming up from the southern part. This is hell for them. Look at how saturated it is. Then they're not even in the circle.
Oh man, a lot of teams on the outside of it. Buriram, good position like what you mentioned. Both of them splitting up, but then again, they got the circle together, so they are still in a very strong role. But then again, 5 more seconds on the clock, and all those teams on the outside will need to move. GDGIDS, one of them, that will go down to Ramos from NFT. GDGIDS spots out 7-9, wants to take away the point, but can't connect those shots.
Damroot now taking on DBD, who's only left with Yen for the current being. I'm not sure if there's anybody else. I don't think so. There's only Yen left. GigFem with 2. 7-9 with 2 as well. But GDGIDS, they bought again, doing the same thing like he did last time. And Yen with the UMP tried to make wonders with that. But Damroot and also Snipes, they don't have time. The Zeus are closing in. Yen finish out, but GigFem also having a bit of a problem. He don't have enough time to heal. Damroot, there's no one you want to use. And GigFem bow out with Empires closing their journey here. And also 7-9 home next. Running around, Ravenclaw finish it off with a spray. That's a feast for the vampires, sucking the blood out for 2 teams down there.
They are out for blood. The vampires, they still have to hide out. Here's the Eagles, trying to take this elimination point away. So it's going to be Chua being eliminated next, given towards vampires. Now they want to get a second one. The spray coming in out from Stone, almost got it. On to the last member of the Eagles. Shot's going to come in from another angle. There's nowhere for him to run. F1, the last man standing, 1 nade for shots to rule them all.
Oh, it's not going to connect. Yeah, but maybe it will because it's a high toss. Blues are coming in. That's it. That's it. One more team. Vampires out of nowhere. They just emerge and finish off bulldozing 3 teams in a row now with 5 eliminations. That's going to be Eagle Esports plays at, Tam plays. But we have 2 teams down. And instantaneously, same goes for 4 rivals, down to 8 teams here. Sam 9 try to finish off Tiger. And there you go, Putra managed to secure the elimination. But the Vampires, they should be watched out by these teams right now because they've been such a well-third party coming in at the perfect time.
Buriram United, despite them having the circle, only left with 2 players. GDGIDS tapping it away on 7-9 on the Putra, the last man standing for his team. GDGIDS, they are still steady here with 3 members, but NFT, the moment they pick a solver, they're back as a full squad.
On the side, we're going to have Empires try to finish off Buriram players. Slowly, Stone try to push forward. 7-9, they still have 1 player, hoping they will not be demolished by the side of Empires here. Who's trying to force them out? There goes Ravenclaw cooking up the tape.
Nice
one. Almost a Kobe. 30% health. And he's really low right now. Same goes for Sky. He's just really hoping that nobody actually spotted him out. He's going to take a fight against GDG. They're challenging them to a fight. 7-9 eliminated by the side of Vampires again. And the circle shifted. And the Vampires are in it with Buriram barely make it in.
Oh, Buriram, they do not have the circle no more. So as with the long range of the Tam Entertainment, no moment. Will be shot at down to 60% of health. Sowas is still alive together with Bensu. They're playing by the edge of the circle, but the zone will still pressure them. Now the zone is starting to close. The nade will be caught out by Sowas, tossing out to Tam Entertainment. but a little bit too far. Will not connect at the moment.
And after in the center, Bacon Time taking on Mormon. Oh no, Bacon Time eyes his last member as well. Too much at jeopardy. Bams to finish it off, and it's going to be Tam Entertainment eliminated next. GDJDS moving forward. Box Gaming spotted them out. Vampires trying to take on Ramones and NFT and Ice in between, but Snizzle will be shot from afar. Coming up from the side of Buriram as well. And Sky only finished it off straight away. It's going to be backstabbing. Sky coming up and just eliminated one team just now. GDGIDS down to one team. Daybot in the center, but Buriram playing it smart this time.
And Sky only will need to reset quickly. Yes, he managed to do so. Daybot just right from to spray onto Daybot. Daybot exposes himself, but now the Daybot doesn't have a vehicle. The vehicle will be exploded by Sky only. Sky only prepping out the nade. He knows exactly where Daybot is at. The nade will be tossed onto the other side. Daybot, will he be able to evade it? Daybot will take the hit from the nade, down to 50% health, but on the southern side we have NFT still a full squad.
NFT got burned just now with a lot of Molotov tossed over by Bacon Time Ice, but Vampire taking it on Batman. Vampire still going and finish off the last member of Bacon. The Vampires are reigning kings here. They are monsters, taking fight by fight with 7 elimination. Maybe just gonna get this chicken with a nice angle of Nate just now. Take it on towards the box. Vampire's getting on Ramones. That was a perfect angle, but the flick, he going towards the left side, just so casual. These guys, they're just not stopping. Vampires keep on going.
Exactly, there's nothing stopping the Vampire at this moment despite his daytime. 1v1 Daybot with the 1v1 fight. Kingzo, moving pressure by the blue. Now gets the Buggy trying to get away. Ravenclaw 4-4, gets another 1 point on the Box Gaming.
And also now one more team out. It's going to be Vox here down to 4. NFT with 1 man. GDJDS and Buriram with 1 man. The Vampires, they will close the match with double-digit elimination. While Ramones will be actually revived with Buffel with a micro and Uzi in their hands. And now slowly, they don't have space for NFT. No room to go, no exit. Unless it's coming up from the back line, which is Stone more and ready to take the fight here. Stone approaching slowly, trying to go in a zigzag manner. There goes, they found out Buffel. Ramon stuck in the corner here. Stone take a bit of a hit off the blue side. And it's going to be Ramones. No way NFT can survive this anymore.
There's no way, there's no way. We're talking about the 7th circle. The moment it closes, it's just Vampires wanting those points in the bag. And there's going to be 12 eliminations now for the Vampires. They just want the points. There's no way the NFT could survive anyway. So nice again. Again, it's going to be Thailand, either Buriram United or the Vampires. If Vampires gets it, it's going to be the 4th Thai team to get a chicken dinner. If Buriram gets it, it's going to be the 2nd time today. Stone onto Sky only. Sky only gets it, but Sky only still survives.
Now Ravenclaw being spotted out. Straps trying to push him with Stone on the other end, trying to get on Kenzo. Sky has got his eyes on the side of Ravenclaw. Now this is going to be a bit problem for Kenzo. You don't have enough, and it's going to be 2v3 here. Kenzo and SLR spotted out on Ravenclaw, but Strap spotted out who's cooking up the nade on the other side of Buriram. Kenzo's right in front, giving away his position. Stone trying to back up fire from the back. They got 1, down to 1 more man only. It's going to be Sky. Sky only, and that's the Vampires taking chicken. What a performance. That secures a double-digit eliminations as well. I have to say, what a game from the Vampires. Sort of a surge of energy. Suddenly they just keep on pushing forward.
Sawadee. Today has been the day of the Thais. I mean, 2 more rounds to go. If the Thailand get all of them, I mean, it's easy job for a graphic designer. He only needs to change the logo, he remains the flag. But now Vampire is going to be the 4th Thai team to get a chicken dinner. 2 more to go, and they would have completed their, well, so-called side mission.
I mean, like the entire objective of the day for the Thai teams is going to be the Thai teams getting all chickens for today. I'm not surprised. And Buriram, the team that we should look out for the day number 2 here. Because why? Day 1, they were quiet. Day 2, they got with the chicken dinner Sunhawk first. Second game, they managed to finish in the top 5. Third game, Marama, they finished in the top 3. What can we expect from these teams? Way more than what they are right now. But FaZe, though, really close enough. They got themselves the last chicken dinner, but they couldn't make it. The circle was really a bizarre circle.
But in general, that's why you see a lot of teams on the southern side because it's unknown there. They might not know how to play up there as compared to a little bit closer to like.
Was it Straps or Ravenclaw? Casually toss over that nade towards NFT Ramon and just get back to the other team entirely, just flicking it over. Feels like so casual. And it was a Kobe nade as well. I mean, like, how can a player be so casual getting the eliminations there?
Well, if you're vampires, then yeah. I guess
They have
it's
superpowers?
yeah, like they
X-ray
supercharged
vision.
themselves. They can fly, they got X-ray vision, maybe super strength
Can
and all that.
vampires fly?
Depends which version.
Which version?
If you're talking about the ones that glow in the dark.
Oh, the glow in the light? Oh,
Yeah,
so there's
glow in
another
the light
version.
or glow in the dark. Yeah, that's not considered as a vampire, right? I
That's a
don't.
rhinestone.
Yeah, yeah, that's a limestone. Hey, but you know what?
What?
Our highest elimination so far is still 14.
It's like sort of a cap here. I don't know why. Nobody can actually
Yeah.
went overboard than that. But it's still a good elimination. A lot of elimination. This is definitely going to push Vampires up to the first chart. Maybe even the top 5 there. And Buram again. They got themselves quite a number today for Buram. They got 17 points in this round only. And FT is, you know what? The one that we saw rising up today is going to be Box and Tam Entertainment. And the others are like somewhere always the same spot. Well, we do know they have what it takes to be up there. But it's going to be the usual, the average we've seen before, 700 to 600 damage dished out by one player, taking around 5 to 8 eliminations usually, still in the same bracket here.
Yeah, I would say the damage dished out has the highest weightage. That's why I noticed. Count towards the MVP points. So 6 eliminations going to be in the bag for Stone himself, 30% team contribution. Longest elimination distance is 162, and right now it's going to be 5.0 MVP point, which is slightly lower than the average data, but it's still about there.
Oh, we did mention about how they pushed themselves up for Vampires. Definitely our #1 spot with less than 10 points difference. And after you also saw with a couple of teams up there, and they are placing them #2 at 77. FaZe got themselves at third place with 74, but definitely top 4 here got themselves all chicken into, including Alter Ego at 63 points, #4. GDJ IDS, oh, surprisingly, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 don't have chicken, but they're still in the top 10. And Infinity being pushed down quite a lot here, down to the 10th place, but the one that's not moving, not budging, 16 to 20th place, I'm not feeling so great for them right now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's tough for them. A lot of teams on page 2 is struggling at this moment, and they're struggling at the stage where it feels like whatever they do, it doesn't work out for them. Now, Judo Alliance, they used to feel the page 1, but now they dropped down to page 2, number 13, 49 points. SLD as well. Yesterday they were hard, but today they're kind of cold, so they dropped themselves up down to page 2. But a lot of the Thai teams, it used to be like 3 out of 6 in page 1 before this. Now it's 5 out of 6.
I'm waiting for another one to go in.
Only Buriram left. And even
Buriram
like
is still
just on
there.
by the edge. He's by the edge. He's at page 2.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not surprised he can squeeze in last minute. He's been performing. They've been performing so well today.
Correct, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I think the next game possibly they're on the first page already, honestly speaking.
Are they playing? We need to double
for the
check
next,
that.
yeah,
Fact
we'll double check first.
Fact check.
So it's gonna be next one, A, B, C, D. They're playing.
A, B, C, D. They're playing. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
You know what? I have a feeling maybe next one could be Tam Entertainment getting that chicken dinner, because they're always almost so close, just like how Vampires did the past few games.
You know what? At this point, I want to see like all Thai teams getting
I want to see that too.
Yeah, just to be like, you know, then we'll see a story from Zephyr, like, yay,
It's gonna be Thai Day today.
you know.
We're gonna end up
Thailand, yeah.
eating chicken dinners with tom yum spiced chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really good. for
Yeah,
dinner
tom yum
today.
flavored chicken.
Yeah, but back to the game. Hard for them because they have compound, but the Vampires definitely have the best point ever. Bots Gaming, if they got themselves in the high ground, you might actually can shoot Vampire from that way.
Yeah, that's right. But then again, I think because they came from the southern side, like really from the south, so the last we saw there were like too many teams, so it's a little bit tough for them to get onto the high ground. And
NFT.
that is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like adapt to the circle. At the end of the day, so pro players, this is going to be the mindset, right? So
Yeah.
pro players, their mindset is that they cannot depend on the circle to be up to them, and they cannot like they're gonna complain when the circle goes away.
I would complain just now. You only got one corner. That's the corner of your holy grail. Hoping that it won't close as fast. You don't have windows. You don't have anything.
Right.
And the best part is Vampires. I think, who was it that actually pushed out into the blue zone just to finish them off?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's from a viewer's perspective.
Yeah.
Definitely, you were like, oh yeah, why my favorite team doesn't get it? But as a player's perspective, like the mentality has to be
They
like,
have to.
you cannot complain about it because that will like pull you down in terms of the mental strength. But let's check out the team summary. Well, today's just going to be the Thailand's days.
You know, I don't bother about the flags anymore. You're just gonna bother about the logo. Vampire Esport with Buriram. Vampires, you know what? They've been bulldozing a lot of teams from behind. Even though just now we got Eagle Esport try to butt in the last minute where they kind of backstabbing Vampires, but they couldn't survive as long as they want to be. The damage dish out, which is quite a lot, 2.5k out there, but they don't venture themselves too much in the blue zone if you compare to Buriram, because Buriram coming up from the northern side, so they're taking a longer rotation, they're taking a fight against a lot of teams up there, but also not as much as the Vampires. But for next one, this is where the Indonesians excel best yesterday.
Yeah, Erangel, yes, record-wise, they did very, very well. NFT, as you can see here, is one of the top teams in this round. Alter Ego as well. So out of the 4 that we can see teams to focus, we have 2 Indonesian teams, 1 Thai team, and 7-9. Now, if I were to put out the theory of like, if it was the Thai team day, like if everyone gets together, Tam Entertainment, they have a record inside Erangel, so it favors them to second page. So unless you're saying that you love them because their effort, they try, but they work out for them, then that's okay.
I can see what I'm loving them today is because they force a lot of fights, but it's just that they couldn't secure the eliminations. They always got knocked down and kind of being finished off. That's the case mostly for them. But what's more for you guys watching at home, don't forget we have the collaboration with the local animation series, which is going to be Bye Bye coming in a couple of days more, which is going to be in October 2022. What can you think of Boy? If it's collaboration, what can we actually think of? I think the weapons.
I think it's going to be a bag because I saw the teaser at the PubG Mobile social media. It looks like a bag design.
How cute is it?
Like me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Too cute then.
Now you know.
And also today's not Wednesday anymore.
Oh, too bad. We still have next Wednesday though.
Yeah.
Because it's happening until
31st.
31st, yeah.
For the face day of Rabu Padu every Wednesday. If you guys missed yesterday, it's okay. There's always next week. Don't forget to rank up with your point and hashtag way Rabu Padu Menang Selalu. If you're not Malay, it's okay. Just type it out.
Yeah. Just copy paste.
Just copy paste it.
Yeah. And you never know, right? You probably get featured in one of our PubG Mobile TikToks or whatever, right? So you never know. Try it out and be the next, future TikToker. Thank you to our official licensing partner TikTok.
Future TikToker.
Yeah, future TikToker.
It's a thing now.
Yeah.
Be the influencer, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, go for it.
Fame. Back towards the next match, which is going to be back to Erangel. Now, I don't know. Deep down, I do want to see for once. You're looking at the Thai teams getting all the flags up there. But I have a feeling it's going to be a tough one because Erangel we saw yesterday, the Thais are still there. Tam Entertainment is still there. But, I don't know.
Just being reserved first, right?
Yeah, I don't want to get my hopes too high.
Or maybe the caster's curse. You don't want to put...
moment we...
Yeah, you don't want to jinx it, right? Yeah, like it's cool to get to see that, but you don't want to jinx it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel like we won't be looking at that anymore. I have a feeling the moment we mention it, it's not going to happen.
Okay, Tam Entertainment, just to reconfirm, right? They're playing this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's not playing is going to be Group E.
So the only Thai team inside Group E is Bacon Time. Okay.
That's it. Boom is not playing.
Yeah. So that means Theory Aluminium. So this is Tam Entertainment. Bacon Time will be the last round.
Maybe.
And then we get all 5 ties.
Everybody gets something for ties.
Like,
oh my
you,
god.
you get a chicken, you get a chicken. You're not from Thailand, you don't get a chicken.
You're not Thailand? No chicken today,
Yeah.
guys. Okay, but still, it's really cool. But at the same time, I'm a bit skeptical about this because of the Indonesians really know when it comes to playing around the corner of Erangel. But today's circle have been really hectic. We're talking about the circle by far, starting from PMRC, right? The circle has been really wonky. I mean, like, it's landed up in no man's land and nobody actually have that pattern before. It's like a new generated pattern entirely for this season.
And that's great, right?
Yeah.
That's great, right? Of course, whoever who does the algorithm behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure they won't tell us, but, oh, our circle changed. You just need to notice it. And the one thing I really noticed about the circle, and it has been a few seasons already, it's we don't have the water circle anymore. Yeah.
I just want to see Sonovs coming to base, that's it.
Well, yeah, military base is still there, but a water circle, like the one that everyone just needs to swim.
There's
at the final circle.
There's nothing can be done with that anymore, right? I mean, like, there's never gonna happen anymore.
I wouldn't say never. I learned to think.
A lot of it, the shoreline and the water still. We've seen that a couple of times, but I do want to see, is it not in the circle generator where it can actually land it up so it's coming to base? We never see once for a long time.
I mean, if
the one that we're not casting?
Probably. I mean, if they really remove, like, if they make an exception for, like, the military base island, I don't know, that's really iffy for me. I do still think that there's a possibility there, but maybe the possibility is spread out between different areas. That's how we saw, like, a very high circle yesterday as well. It is still there, but it's just like even up the odds with other areas.
I don't know, recently there's a lot of northern circle, if you noticed, right? Like, example, even yesterday's matches, a lot of Jogo Pool, around Rosshawk, maybe even a lot of them on the northern side all the way. Like, even Zaki possibility is there. And even in terms of angle, there's so much northern circle these days. I'm not surprised if more players and teams try to drop themselves in the northern part.
First, I think it depends on the flight path.
Yeah.
Second, I think it depends on whether they get to access their regular dot spot, so-called regular dot spot. So those are kind of the factors. Whether they really want to force themselves to put themselves up there from the start, that's normally not the case. But let's see, what do we get for next round?
Why?
So, both Vietnamese teams.
I mean, like, why did my manager put Xavier for me? What's wrong with him?
Well, at least Box Gaming is...
Box Gaming is okay. I'm like, what's wrong with you, Mr. Manager? Why are you doing this to me?
He has the Paburu mindset. Think of prank.
Okay, but this is not so bad for predictions as well. It's more towards rooting, not prediction anymore.
Yeah, this has been the rooting logo since last season, right?
This is the rooting that's like giving your morale and motivation.
Like, yeah, guys. Yay.
We are your motivators for the day.
Let's do it.
Oh my god. But back about outside of the Vietnam team, like Box Gaming and also, who was it again? That won, Eagle Esports has been performing quite okay. And then, especially Eagle Esports, I'm surprised how much they progress if you compare with the last season and this season.
Yeah, it's an improvement, no doubt.
Yeah.
I do think that they, despite them, like, they have OG players, right? They have like Chua in it and so on, with a mix of some new players. Yet they are still able to keep up. Unlike Box Gaming, it's like the other way around. Like, Box Gaming is like, still the same theory, right? You have some OG players, you got some new players, but they're not really as keeping up. In fact, you ask me right now, within the Vietnamese scene, Box Gaming and Eagles to me is clearly the better team for now.
Yeah, definitely true. VN United and the Xaviers, VN United is a better team right now. Honestly speaking, this is like honest coming out from us casters. But I'm looking if they can prove us otherwise. Are they just really playing it low profile not to show off their trump card, or will they actually improve along the process? Because this is the pro advantage of the league. You have time to build yourself throughout the process.
Yeah, so I mean, it is 3 weeks, right? And there's so many games to play, so there's opportunity for them. But they need to start their opportunity quickly as we head on to our Erangel for today.
Let's go with Rangel, and it's gonna be our 4th match. We're down to only 2 more matches here. Wow.
Yeah,
how
time
time flies. Very.
You said the same line.
Oh wow.
Time
I missed this interview.
I met him recently, you know.
You did?
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who we're talking about, it's gonna be Team Hot Damn Cutie, by the way.
Yeah, I met him recently, and there's he said there will be interesting movements within the team. I just gonna put it out there right now, just to tease a little bit. But flying down to catch a prey, Drone will be the first one to go out.
So I mean, like, well, you guys watching at home, again, this is for you, PMCC 2022. Gonna be last minute of registration open up to you guys, especially if you are a student and you're 16 years old and above, not 60, okay? 16.
I want to know who's 60 and playing.
I do want it. I wish they have a senior cup or senior championship. It would be really cool. Your limit of age is gonna be minimum 40 years old.
You know what? Speaking about that, right?
Yeah.
Story time.
Yeah.
Okay, so today I saw on social media. So Kelvin Pang, you know him, right?
Yeah.
So
you even just you tell the entire world their names now. What the heck, Cloud?
I mean, well, there's no way else for me to describe, right? So anyway,
okay.
So he posted up like, so he used to swim when he was younger. So he's not so young now. But anyway, he used to swim actively, like competitively, when he was younger, and he posted up this kind of like a poster, like there is this swimming competition for people who are 40 and above. There's a category for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says that maybe he should wear his swimming suits and get back into shape and go for it.
I mean, it should be. I mean, that's the beauty thing. Okay, that's a sport, a physical sport.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to e-sport, there's no age limit to it. Some of us are saying that I'm too old for this. There's no such thing as a word as too young for this. But definitely for certain other stuff, but not in gaming. Yeah, you know what I mean there. But at the same time, I mean, like, why people are putting restriction in e-sport? Because it's the game of brains. It's all about, is your brain rotting if you're that old? I mean, I don't think so. The brain's still going to work. And it actually makes more miracle than the new players because you are more wiser. You're supposed to be wiser.
I feel like my brain is rotting though. Yeah, I'm just going to stop there. Like, because
I'm not even going to back it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. It is. But actually, fun fact, you know, like one of the PMGCs, I forgot whether it's PMGC or PMWL.
Yeah.
So there was one of the teams from either MENA or EU. It's like that side, right? They had a player who is 30-ish, 35 or something. I forgot which player, but it was one of those. 35 or something. That age range, right? So he became the oldest player in the competitive scene at that time. And like what you said, right? It's impressive, right? Like you're that age, but you still, and he's not like the sub player that he doesn't play. He's like the main player. So it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
supposed to be that way. I mean, like, okay, you guys saw the sliders just now in the stats, right? You guys can read. Well,
Yeah,
we're gonna keep
read it, yeah.
we're gonna keep this going. I mean, like, we're in the middle of something here. Sorry, guys. But you know, the best thing about esports, like gaming, is there's no limit to the age because it's not a physical sport that you need to push yourself. And that's a certain limit of humans' anatomy to work, you know. But in this case, for brains, I mean, like, the older you get, the wiser you're supposed to be. And the goal in your play should be, right? Yes, your reaction time is a bit slow, but you can outplay them, outsmart them.
I don't know, I feel my reaction time is very slow.
Reaction time is a different story. You can put a strategy like, oh, we can do this, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, something like, wow. Something, wow, you know?
You're so passionate about this topic. I can see that.
Yeah, because I'm too old for this.
I'm like chilling here, you know? like letting
my
you just go
not
all
rotting,
out.
by the way.
Yeah, my brain's rotting. That's why I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
If
you
only
can't
our
brain it.
viewers can see behind the scenes. You can see the difference. Like, we make sound the same, but, you know, the body language
What
shows.
do you mean we sound the same? I
mean-
sounded younger than you.
I mean, we sound the same as in, like, the level of enthusiasm, I hope. And that's what we're supposed to do. But the body language is, like, so different. Yeah. Check out
I
behind the
thought
scenes,
body
guys.
language enthusiasm is supposed to be the same thing here.
Well, that's why I say sound enthusiastic.
Sound.
Sound
Put a
enthusiastic.
bracket to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where
Nice.
it matters, right?
Well played. Okay, we're back to the game, guys. Sorry for the sidetrack of our conversation before.
Yeah, she got carried away.
Yeah, it was
She's so
fun.
passionate about the topic.
Yes, because I want to see more. Like, you know, imagine if your parents' team fight better than you in PUBG Mobile, and they can play PMP and you can't. How do you feel about that? Huh?
So we have a PUBG Mobile Campus Championship, and then we have a what would you
Senior
call
championship.
it? PUBG Mobile Senior Championship. Yeah, I like the name. I like the name. PMSC. Wow, thank you.
Yeah, senior
Yeah,
championship.
I'll copyright that now.
Yes, yes, please. PUBG Mobile,
Okay.
you can hear us, right?
Yeah, if they happen to have that league or that tournament, we're getting the copyright rights.
Yeah.
PMSC, you know.
But at the same time, you know what? So you can't imagine, like, if we do have arguments and fights between the players of a certain misunderstanding, what happened if that happened between our parents? It's so funny.
Wow.
When old people, to see old people fight, it's like something that shouldn't be done in the first place, you know? Because it's supposed to be wiser. What happened if they go to a disagreement?
Everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back in the game. Box Aiming seems to have a bit of a mid and grid with other teams. There's going to be three-way war. Alter Ego is there, and these areas start to fire. But Box Gaming, the one being the victim of the story, because they've been center, left, and right. All of them being shot down. But Alter Ego taking a fight against Box Gaming with the DBS already in his hand. So trying to make a bit of a revenge. But Alter Ego slowly dropping like flies as well. Pombit trying to heal himself. We have Renora trying to get into the compound. Box Gaming losing man, Trisman, and also one more player on the left side.
Whoa.
It's going to be Sowas knocked down first. Pombit tried to make a bit of a salvaging, a bit of a what can he have left, but the team that actually flew away, the Xaviers, now busy with GDGIDS.
Oh, Lamborghini left, right, but Lamborghini finally goes down. But they even up the odds. Oh no, they bought the last man for GDGIDS now with the nade toss onto the other side. And now we're Xavier with Ravis. Is he the last man standing? No, he has Frankie together with him, so it's going to be 2v1. They bought. Can he pull off a clutch there? But Box Gaming looks like they're trading off with Alter Ego. With Renare coming in from behind, they should be able to do the job. And Potato goes down. Box Gaming is still alive.
Trisman is right in front of him.
Trisman.
To
the right, man.
Trisman still not looking over the wall here.
Right.
Renare, now Trisman start to move with the slot L. He cancelled it out. He's not sure whether to revive or whether to shoot. He's got him out. Renare! Oh! That's going to be the last of Box Gaming into a box just now. With also Alter Ego survived these Xaviers. Slowly finish off GDGIDS as well, but we have one more team coming in. There's no reset time. Infinity start to go loose. Infinity shot down here, GDGIDS, and this is really gonna be a fish eat fish world.
Oh yeah, the Infinity. We saw them yesterday. The moment they know that the fight ended, they want to go in. They want to get those elimination points before their opponents can reset. And now the Xavier, they managed to reset in time, so that's kind of okay for them. Imagine if the Infinity just rush in while they're still like healing up, while they're trying to revive. I mean, it's going to be disastrous for the Xavier, but the Xavier managed to reset in time to defend the ground.
Now, going over to Vampires versus 4 Rivals. They definitely spotted a fluke because of the smoke here. But for 4 Rivals around Primos right now, they try to play around the shoreline. Is it because of a circle just now? We will know even furthermore when the circle shrinks in the third phase later on in less than 15 seconds. April just going to shot from afar with a tap towards the side of Fluke. I'm not sure if the car smoked up yet or not, but definitely they don't want to give away their position because next to them is going to be DBD. And it's just left side to the side of 4 Rivals in less than 300 meters away, and they shouldn't reveal themselves too much here.
The Eagles, the only team tanking.
Alter Ego seems like tailing around Vampires. I have a feeling Vampire will jump down from their vehicles, try to force a fight against Alter Ego because that's what they have been doing.
To know that, okay, are we too late? How many seconds does it take to revive? How many seconds does it take to reset each and every one? And then that's how they decide, like, okay, we will pull back, we'll hang on, just like what exactly they did during the Xavier thingy. But speaking about Xaviers, it looks like it's going to be the Vampires from afar to Xavier, and one of them goes down, but Pawnbase is the one to steal the elimination point away.
Yep, Alter Ego with dominated right now with 5 eliminations. BN United happens to pop just next to Vampire. Oh no, the timing. Now Vampires definitely will shift over their attention towards their right-hand side. On top of Primos, we have a whole team of VN United in the open space. Now, like it or not, they have to take the compound right in front of them because in this area right now, it's not so great for them to actually play with. Yes, they have a couple of barricades, and also the terrain is a bit slopey, but it's just too open. It's just too risky for BN United.
Yeah, it's tough for BN United at this moment. They're taking a little bit of a risk to just dash through this beach. This beach is really, really open, so they need to pray that they don't get shot down. Now, there's another team on the northern side, and it's going to be Alter Ego, but they're not going to pull the trigger yet. But on the other side, BN United will need to face off against D Xavier on the high ground.
Again, a quarry circle. This is the second time we've actually witnessed on top of Erangel. 7-9 getting the center, coming up from the north. Eagle Esport, but UD Alliance getting themselves a huge upgrade when it comes to the airdrop. NFT and 4 Rivals feels like they might exchange a couple of bullets, but the next circle will be taken by Buri, Ram, Infinity, and FaZe. Now, we're not surprised, aren't we? When it comes to the circle, the Thailands really know how to predict it.
Well, I'm not surprised on the positions that the teams like to take, like Buriram United. They went on to Quarry, and they're the only team there. And in case the circle goes there, it's going to be hard to challenge them because of how that terrain is. It's tough to actually get into Quarry if there's another team guarding it. So they took that right move, and at the same time, the circle happened to favor them. So they're in a great position right now. But let's not forget about the Infinity as well. They have the second half of Quarry. Quarry is big enough to at least have 2 teams without challenging each other.
That's true. Now 7-9 trying to hike up with Lord Harm already on his knees. Vintori will try to finish off. Tony Gay just gonna finish off Harm easily. Vintori just feels like a Kobe. This is gonna be it. The angle sounds perfect, but clip both of them a bit more. Mumparent's a bit more in the pain side. Appy taking on Tam Entertainment, Nonsense on the ground. But we're looking over 4 Rivals versus Tam Entertainment. They're losing 2 men here, with Bevy still bleeding out, but finish off the side of 4 Rivals. Now, a lot of them happened to clash and rushed in their compound. But we're looking over Tam Entertainment, only 2 men work with. I don't see how they can actually get this one, but Vampires is a different story entirely. BN United will be the next contender.
Clash and Rush becomes Clutch. Yeah, I got that. It's not too bad, actually.
Yeah,
it's close to a clutch. But speaking about clutch, could it be a clutch for the Vampires against BN United? BN United, they're opening up, but they can't find a good angle to the Vampires. Fluke have now been shot at. Zunos still alive to the nade onto Zunos. There's an early nade from Zunos, in fact. But that's a molly taking off Lukev, and now Shrubs needs to get away. There could be an opening for BN United onto the Vampires.
So down to Shrubs, hand grenade here. Stone coming up from a bit of a long shot. Tried to get on the high ground, but the nades didn't actually clip too much. Max taking on Flukev. And it's going to be with M416. Spotted out Stone. Stone will be figured out here. Not great. He tried to stop Capone, but at the same time, Stone in danger. He needs to get away, and the explosion didn't hit him that much. But Max making sure the pixel shot will get him eventually. Shots taken on Shunos. Now down to only 1 person for BN United. It's not great because even the circle shrinks even further. Max running away from W have to bear out on Shunos. Now the moment he just built this one out, he'll be shot down by the rest of the teams coming up from Vampire. The moment we mentioned, it's going to be Capone again, trying to seal the living situation for the team, but that's it. BN United decimated in the hands of Vampire.
Yeah, they had the circle advantage with the high ground, so they know how to gatekeep BN United. BN United had to pay the price for trying to take the fight against the Vampires on the outside of the circle. Now we move over to the Eagles. Udo Alliance right in front of them, playing by the edge of the circle. 20 more seconds before the circle fully closes and will be revealed the 5th place of the circle.
Now, the circle will shift again. Now, whoever will be favored is going to be really in a blasting mode. Alter Ego, Infinity having a go, while Buram in the center are not going to do that much yet because they want to hold their ground first. Tam Entertainment still taking a fight against Vampires, who just rushing in. It's going to be Buram taking the circle. Tam Entertainment in the center. Vampires squeezing in but being knocked down. One of them being finished off. 7-9 pushing in as well. FaZe and D Xavier. DBD on top of Quarry. There's 4 teams coming up from the southern part, and it's really a crowded one. Alter Ego tossing around the nade, hoping to actually pick up their mate. But it's funny, it's faster than that.
Oh, the Infinity, the moment they rush it, you gotta be careful. The last man standing for now, the Eagle will be eliminated. That means they're out at 11th place. The Infinity, 5 eliminations for them. They are dominating together with NFT Esports.
Infinity start to move forward with only 3 men here. You don't have Logan at start. DBD, Echo is quite separated than the others. You're going to cook up a couple of nades, trying to force the players out. That's going to be for, I think it's a different team intelligence. Now, you do Alliance. Have to go through, cut across Eagle Esport to get into the safe zone. But can they make it unharmed? Because they're like 4 teams of eyes watching out. Buriram won't be one of it. You do Lies taking on Eagle Esport. Trust on the ground here. But Ripple Boy, the IGL going way further than the rest of the teams are.
My name now gets one for himself onto Ripple Boy, the IGL for Yudo Alliance. The good news is that they're currently in the circle, but the long range coming from My Name onto Adeluk. Adeluk knocked down from afar. Buriram United still securing this area.
Buriram United Fortress is just so undefeatable right now. One of the best prime spot. A vintage view. They got a wide clear angle to work with. The one that actually will be a hindrance for them. The one actually at the back line. It's going to be the side of, I think, maybe Tam Entertainment around behind them somewhere. But back to the side of 4 Rivals. April try to get out from here, but Eagle Esport making sure they cannot even leave this compound. They're being cornered left, right, and center. Tam Entertainment on the other hand, 4 Rivals cornered. It's going to be exchange of bullet, and there's going to be one nade. Chua dropping on top of April. Now that's left, it's going to be AP. They're going to go for the flush. Eagle Esport trying to find for the last person off. 4 Rivals. Appy, he revealed himself. He knocked down on Chua. He tried to trade, but it's a bit too late. 4 Rivals bowing out at 10th place.
And Tam Entertainment is looking in from the other side of this building. But Tam Entertainment as a duo going up against the Eagles as a full squad is not a good idea for them. Tam Entertainment, however, they need to do something. They'll be the gatekeepers right now against the Eagles, depending on what the circle goes after this. At the same time, we can see that My Name goes down to Shamil from Yudo Alliance. A little bit of a revenge there for his IGL.
We still have Infinity on the other hand. Venturas and the rest of FaZe is on the other. The one that actually untouchable right now is going to be Buriram. The one that can contest them for their spot right now is going to be Infinity right across them. Eagle Esport got a huge upgrade of loot with a lot of death boxes just now coming out from 4 Rivals. But I want to step out, it's going to be another war going on. Buriram versus Yudo Alliance next. There's also Infinity in between. Yudo Alliance cannot even hike up because Eagle Esport now shooting them from behind. Left, right, center. There's a lot of bullet for Yudo Alliance. D Xaviers is still in the game as well.
FaZe Clan and DBD. Tony K at the forefront. He will lead the charge for FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan. We got one player right in front, and that's going to be Tony K. Can he finish out the job? The jump shot from Tony K. Lamborghini from behind. D Xavier wants to take advantage from this, but then he revealed himself. Tony K knows exactly where Lamborghini is, and Tony K has the high ground advantage. 2v1, and D Xavier is out.
Last player finally down, but this is one of the best performances coming from the Xaviers. Lamborghini last player just now. FaZe have to cut across Infinity and also Tam Entertainment to be in the center here. NFT is still there. Infinity Miller already on the ground. We're only Tani also down. Newsy last player, but Tam Entertainment Moment, that's a huge nade dropping out towards the Eagle side. And down to last person. Moment trying to find on Chua. He couldn't spot him out within the smoke. He's moving forward. It's just next to him. Moment missed it. Moment with it. Moment found it. Moment got one. Moment.
No! Oh, Moment goes in and gets this Moment with a nade, with a DBS. Tam Entertainment is dominating.
And back to the game, we got only left with 5 teams. Infinity eliminated just now. Buriram, Tam Entertainment. Buriram again in the top 5 here. What a consistency. With 3 tie teams left remaining with FaZe and Tam Entertainment as well. Yudo Alliance making up for the Malaysians. And we have Indonesian and NFT remain with 2 players. With Vector trying to scope up to the side of FaZe. MR5 on the run with the rest of them with hop onto the vehicle. It's going to be Tony K making a way first, but shot down straight. Oh, not through. Why did he stop there?
Out in the open. I guess he was caught by Buriram United on the other side. FaZe Clan, however, needs to find their way through. But now we are SO Zave trying to stay compound together with NFT. And the smoke being tossed out on the right side just to buy time for his side. At the same time, we can see that Tony K goes down. Moment is still alive. 3 teams in the same compound.
Moment, this guy. What a wonderful play just now with the DBS. Now definitely try to play as quiet as possible. Try to fish them out with a cloud of smoke to confuse the players of NFT, but they will not be easily baited. Buriram start to move against FaZe. They're taking their own sweet time to fight the teams there. Buriram slowly crushing from behind. They are bulldozing players again bit by bit. Moment and Exos is just fighting against NFT, while FaZe Sky were actually trying to find MR5. He spotted him out. He will go for the hunt. He's chasing him down, but Sky couldn't spot him because of the slope. It's too sim. He spotted MR5. MR5 clear shot. That's gonna be it. FaZe no more. We're down to 4.
Yeah, nowhere for him to go at this moment, but now focusing on the teams on the outside of the circle at this time. We have Buriram United, the only team in the circle. Not only that, they have the high ground advantage. They're overlooking like 2 teams. They know exactly there's a commotion happening at the crowd, at the house just below them where NFT and Turnip Entertainment is at. SOZip with the spray coming in from the backside will not connect his shots, but the name will be evaded by SOZip at the same time. Down to 50% health. Remote to get to solve Bell. Still like them. The zone is trying to put pressure onto these 2 teams.
Oh no, NFT caught again in the corner. This is what happened the last game as well. The Blue Zone, not much space to go and work with Ramon. Managed to climb himself out of the place. He needs to get out, exit entirely, and
Oh,
they will be
Sky
caught down.
only.
Sky again! Sky is everywhere! They are underneath the sky's view for these guys. Tam Entertainment, Moment survive. Shot down another one. Sky, what the heck is wrong with this? This is like Buriram's games all the way. Tiger finished off instead of Tam Entertainment, but you did Alliance Olio just gonna steal this away, Buriram. They realize my name slowly closing in to the side of Olio, but the rest of Buriram definitely gives away this information. You do Alliance within the next target here coming up from Buriram.
At this point, Buriram just need to chill. They just need to wait for opponents to reveal themselves. Tiger is going in for Olio. 1v1, 50% health left. Moment secures the elimination point out of my name. But Tiger is just behind Olio. But Moment will go out first. It's going to be third place for Tam Entertainment. And Utilize, wait a second, Olio. But no, it's not going to happen. As Buriram United secures another chicken dinner for Team Thailand.
It's double chicken for Buriram today, the first and the 4th match. What a day and what a performance. We're talking about Buriram, Sky especially, getting himself such a good view every single time.
Yeah, I know the long break conversation we talked about, like, oh, okay, could it be Thai teams all the way?
Yes.
It looks like it is going towards there. I mean, okay, Bacon Thai is going to play the next round, the final round.
Call me your oracle now. I'm your oracle.
You're the Oracle.
Yes.
Yes.
So I dressed like this today.
Yeah.
Look
Oh,
like
yeah.
Oracle.
You're the Oracle.
A
team.
rapper oracle.
Yeah, it suits. Okay, if Thailand gets the final one,
Okay, who will be next playing, okay? Who's
let's give it to Bacon Time. Might as well.
Who's not playing next one? We have to actually figure out who's not playing.
So
It's gonna be
A, D. So D, GD, GIDS, DBD, box game, Vampires not playing.
So Vampire's definitely out. But I don't know. Is it gonna be Infinity maybe because they haven't performed the entire day? Maybe they suddenly try to jump start like in the last minute.
I thought might as well give it to Bacon Time though.
Hey, yeah, that's true. Bacon never gets chicken. Like,
Yeah.
hardly get any. I mean, like they're always so close.
Yeah.
They're always so close, but not within reach. But here comes the highlight again. You know what? Vampires really performed today. Now they're not gonna play the last game, and definitely they rest themselves in one of the top spots. We're talking about them number 1 before, but after the last match later, I'm not sure if they're still gonna maintain number 1 or not.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell at this moment because some teams are playing, some teams are not playing, so we need to wait and see. And the points are very, very close too. But that DBS play for Moment, that was amazing. He almost like kind of missed it, but our view, yes, we know that they're there, but as a player, like the smoke is extra for them, so I kind of understand what's happening there. But then opening lane for Moment and he moves in with the DBS, that was perfect.
For NFT, I feel bad for them 2 times in a row. They got caught in the blue zone where they've been cornered out. They don't have much space unless they just hang themselves in the blue to get out from there.
Yeah.
But NFT have been really consistent in the whole day. I'm like, every single time you see a top 5 finishing, they're always there.
Just look at the amount of smokes used, 31 smokes for NFT.
They got stuck still in the corner.
Yeah, I know, it's the same scenario like the Miramar one.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
But the other teams, I have to say, like Buriram, right? Buriram and Vampire, they have a sort of a same sort of approach, if you notice. Like they've been quiet for a bit, and then suddenly in last few circles they just keep on bulldozing people from behind, out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're a team that likes to. What I noticed right now is that they're a team that likes to play a little bit later, and whoever who's in front of, like what you say, just bulldoze across. And despite the bulldozing, right, our record is still 14 as the highest amount of eliminations. It's still not broken yet. I'm surprised.
It's still the same. And for the top 3 finishing just now, we witnessed the top 3 of, again, the Thai teams. But Udin Lions make it up today. We're slowly, trying to climb up the ladder. And NFT still maintaining consistency. But Infinity, on the other hand, start to be a bit slower than usual when it comes to day number 2. Eagle Esport, one of the teams that we look forward when it comes to their performance, still maintain the only Vietnam team that shows a bit more promising than the others. Box Gaming is a bit of a roller coaster ride today, definitely up and down.
Yeah, I know, right? But they're even more sadder team, so we'll get to that later. But this is the MVP for Sky only. So 5 elimination points, 959 damage, 5.4 MVP points, actually higher than his teammate. 31% team contribution, longest elimination distance is 241.
Well, we saw how great of a view Sky got just now. He got himself a high ground, and the others are just in a bit of a slope where he can easily shoot from above. I think even FaZe MR5 being founded in that sort of position as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? First, second place, NFT, the only Indonesian team getting across the 4 Thai teams up there. What the heck?
Yeah, I know, right? Like 4, and then you have the Infinity. So pretty much on page 1, you got like 5 of them, 5 out of 10 in page 1. Bacon time, because they did play, so to be fair to them, that's why they kind of drop into page number 2. But the next round they'll be playing, so there's an opportunity for them to go to page 1. And if that happens, that means there is a possibility we'll be seeing 6 Thai teams.
Yesterday is one of the match of Irangos also quarry around the area. And when we have a juggle pool after that, right? So there's a lot of left side circle these days. But the ones that actually really having it hard, I have to say the ones that actually not playing in the compound. For FaZe, they got the compound by being flushed out. And Buriram, they are the furthest away. You know, they don't have that much of a challenge. They are the one looking over whoever that's fighting across. Infinity, on the other hand, got caught in the pit of the quarry. So, you know, the moment you step down from the elevations, it's going to be hard for them to climb out, including Yuri Alliance, if you notice. They tried to climb up the hill and they got shot from behind. There's so many third party coming up from behind that they kind of didn't figure out that, you know, you see how Sky just fought out MR5. It's just, MR5 wasn't even looking that way.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much they can do, right? Like, wherever we go from there on, it's just too open for him. Buriram had that high ground, that elevation against him, so pretty much he's like, okay, just take me away. I mean, I'm done. So, gonna take an earlier break for him for MR5. But Buriram United, one of the reasons why other teams couldn't go up there is because they went out first. So when they went out first, they managed to secure the area. It's tough for other teams to come up, and that has to happen fairly early. That has to happen like maybe second or third circle, and that's what they did.
But what we needed right now is a bit of a sponsors. Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be the GT Neo 3 coming out from Realme with the latest chipset of MediaTek Dimensity 8100 5G. Your phone to grab over for you to actually be part of PMP maybe in the future if you use this phone. And also thank you so much for TikTok, our live stream partner, which is going to be #away Be The One challenge. And also don't forget to follow all our pages. There's a lot of pages depending on where you are. For Malaysia, there's going to be 2 pages. The PUBG Mobile MY official, PUBG Mobile esports.my. For Singaporeans, it's going to be PUBGmobile.sg. For Philippines, it's going to be PUBG Mobile official PH. And if you're still hungry and you are, you know, not really used to using Grab, this is your time because you can get 50% off the Grab food order with the promo code PUBGM, okay, PUBGM, and it's only for new users, okay? And that's quite a lot, 50%. If you eat a steak of $100, it's gonna be just $50.
Yeah, I wonder what steak would that be.
Wagyu steak.
Wow, I had no experience at all.
Wagyu's really good.
Wow. Rich people. Anyway, we're gonna go find our Wagyu steak. I'm gonna discover it for the first time. We're gonna take a break, ladies and gentlemen. It won't be long, for about 5 minutes, so we'll be seeing you after this break.
Hey there! Fellow PUBG Mobile players, along with the version 2.2 update, we have made a series of improvements on the game's basic controls. Let's take a look at the improvements. First, improvements to the controls and display. We have increased the display priority of the wheel when the throwing wheel is activated. Now it'll be easier for players to see obvious when the player is aiming down sights. The markings within the scope have been optimized, so the sight is less obscured. When a player jumps, after respawning or deploying an emergency pickup, it's now possible to mark the battleground with light columns. After a team wins, the buttons for MVP likes and summon statue will be combined. Now players can send a like automatically whenever they summon a statue. On the results screen, we have added teammate numbers, so now players can use the number to identify each other and give likes to their favorite teammates. To make spectating more convenient for players, we have tweaked the button size on the spectating screen. This reduces the chance of tapping the button by mistake. I'm sure firearm balancing is a concerning issue for many players. In this update, we have significantly improved the burst shot of both the SKS and Mini 14 by greatly improving their handling. This will increase their stability fired consecutively and increase the damage dealt to enemies. Perhaps these two firearms will become your weapon of choice after the enhancements. For airdrop weapons, we have made some adjustments to the controls and damage dealt to better balance the airdrop weapons. In the new version, there are lots of new features worth checking out. When you acquire a firearm finish of your liking, you'll definitely want to admire it from time to time. In this update, we've added a firearm inspection feature. Players can now use this to admire their favorite firearm. During combat, players can tap the emote to enter first-person perspective to inspect the current active weapon. A friendly reminder, never inspect your firearm during combat, or you might overlook the enemies before you. Do keep in mind that this feature is currently only available for certain firearms, but it will be gradually rolled out to other firearms in later versions. The recommended layout feature is one of the many new features. When players customize the controls, it's now easier to apply a custom layout recommended by the system with one tap. We've also added a trunk system. Players can now make exchanges while riding vehicles. Use this feature to exchange supplies with teammates. But remember, the size of the trunk depends on the vehicle type. The visual presentation of profile cards have been improved. Players can now set their gender on their profile cards. On the results screen, we have streamlined the results process and improved on the layout, as well as the MVP results emote. On the new results screen, assists will be included in the stats. In future matches, you can try cooperating with your teammates. Even if you don't make the final strike, assists will help boost your results. We have added stationary targets to the training grounds. After firing, the damage dealt and bullet trajectory will be displayed. This helps to more closely recreate situations that players may face in matches. To make it easier for players to practice shooting, the most recently used firearms configuration will be applied by default when entering the training grounds the next time. These are the major improvements for the basic experience in version 2.2. If you want to learn more about this update's content, don't forget to follow the official PUBG Mobile community. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you next time.
6 teams. The only one that actually not making the first page we mentioned before is going to be Bacon Time. But will Bacon Time finish off today with a bang and squeeze into the top?
Both of them are playing, right? It's Temp Entertainment. Can we double check? A, B, C, D. So
these guys are so good. Sky, Mormon, and
Dope.
I mean, I would be more stoked are really like blowing up my mind. VRU can secure one more. They are on fire today.
Oh, yeah.
They are on fire today. They are so lit up to the point that it's so hard.
The experience. The rest of them have not, but yet they're still doing better than other Thai teams in general. Like two chicken dinners.
In a day.
Day.
Like, when it comes to overall, I mean, like all the Thais are doing really scary here. We're talking about waiting for bigger time to just, you know, coming in, creeping in, and just take all the Thais. I mean, like what happens is all the five slots, the top 5 is going to be all the Thais. Definitely, there's already slot given. Okay, I'm just going to update about the PMGC slot. Okay, Infinity and Bacon Time already definitely got themselves there. So for the other 4 teams, they still have a shot going into the league here.
Yeah, they do. And plus the slot will go down, right? So they will. But you guys have a shot as well in playing the new Nusa map together with the new tactical crossbow that's currently available inside of Nusa. So if you saw the advertisement, and the advertisement is really cool, by the way. You pointed out the graphic that moves at the bottom.
The
so
slider?
The slider thingy. So you kind of know like which segment of the advertisement it is at. So if you landed yourself onto the tactical crossbow side of the advertisement, you will be able to see the demo of how it's used. You can.
It's enough saying this. This is a very beautiful set. I mean, like, look at how delicate of each of the details when it comes to the clairvoyant fox set. I mean, that's my favorite right now. One of the best set. But also we have a double set here.
Oh yeah, we have a double set as well. So not only the Royal Pass set, but we have the Spectral Swan set together with the Cosmic Inquisitor set. That's going to be the new Ultimate set. So 2 new Ultimate sets released at the same time. That means you have double the opportunity to get them in your spins. So do check them out. This is season to like collect all of them. Like you have 2 from the Royal Pass, 2 from this. It's like you can get 4 new awesome sets in a short time.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's pretty cool, especially the Spectral Swan set. If you use it as for your entire team. Yeah, and then you name your squad as a Spectral Swan. That's it. As easy as that.
SW.
SW. Spectral Swan. SSW.
Yeah, SSW. I will pick the W.
SSW.
Yeah.
And also, thinking about the championship, we can also put as PMVC. We don't have a VC before.
What's a VC?
Veteran Championship.
Oh, yeah, that sounds cool.
The SD had back then was a different title.
Oh, yes.
So I don't think that's applicable, but PMVC, PUBG.
Okay, we are copywriting it now.
Hello?
We're copywriting it now. Like if it comes out, you heard it here from us first. You know, like every PMP, every season, like every stage, we always come up with like new ones.
Yeah, including new maps. Including new maps. Hello.
New maps. We came out with a lot of new ideas, Mike.
Yeah.
It's like all everywhere. We gotta patent all that.
Including the Blackpink thing. You know, they actually did it. Just saying.
Just saying, you know.
You know, we're not trying to take the credit away, but that's our credit to be given. But back towards the next one. I mean, I really want to see, because we have the PMCC Camper Championship.
Yeah.
But wait, before that, we're gonna put in the prediction. I don't know what my manager predict for the last game. And not so.
Between the both of us. I think in a different life we will be married instead.
No, please.
Oh, in a different life? I don't know.
That's a nightmare for me.
Oh, wow.
Now you make me question.
Stop imagining, you know.
Now you make me question if that really gonna happen.
Stop imagining. It's supposed to be another life.
They should be worried now.
Yeah.
But back to NFT and Boom. Okay, Boom is really good. We do know when it comes to GDG ideas is great, but it's not up there because of there's always they have a bit of problem to secure in the placement and get their eliminations. But for Boom and NFT, that's not the case entirely.
NFT, they are not bad as well.
Yeah. They're great. They're
great.
better than GDG ideas.
Correct. So, I mean, for him to put that in, I'm not too surprised. But because that was given before the whole show started.
Yeah,
right?
now we want Thailand.
Now we want Thailand. Like, if I get to change right now, I would pick either Temp Entertainment or Bacon Time.
Yeah, both teams, they didn't have themselves a chicken yet. But I'm not surprised even Infinity tried to get one today. But they haven't got any. And you know, usually Infinity won't be staying quite too long. Maybe tomorrow if that didn't happen today. But can we finish off our last match of Wrangle with another Thai flag waving out there?
Sawadika, take my energy, ha. Is that how he say?
I don't know.
Okay, never mind. But anyway, you know what? I just want to see something unique. I want to see a nice storyline by the end of the day. So Thailand team, let's go. Do it for all of us.
Face Buriram Vampire. Vampire not playing. That's a good sign because they have been bulldozing quite a number of teams down there. But the others, on the other hand, this is the time for them to break the run of the Thai teams.
Yeah.
Making sure that there's a messy storyline by the end of the day. Are you guys ready? So hop into our last match, our day 2, Erangel.
Thai Wrangle.
Thai Wrangle.
Yeah, we're gonna name it that way if they get it. Like the fifth team is another Thai team, right? Like the Titans, Thai Wrangle, Thai Rama, Thai Hawk. You know, everything's gonna be Thailand.
Thai Chinky.
Thai Chinky. You name it, right? Thai Chinky. We got Thai Literary Base.
Thai Literary Base.
Yeah. Thai. Thai Red No Yeah.
We're just having
Thai
too much
Bo Red
fun
No Yeah.
now.
And we're back. Surprise!
It's a remake.
Yeah, I mean the final chicken dinner for a Thai team needs to chill.
I know why we're having this because that side we're having too much fun munching over stuff just
Yeah,
now.
I know, right? Someone behind the scenes eating too much. Yeah.
Oh, it's because your fault now.
I know, right?
Spoiling this guy so
Yeah.
much, but this
Vegetarian
I mean,
wagyu.
like the production crew is awesome. I love working here. Definitely sharing this desk with you. Something that I love to do throughout my entire career. Thank you for
You're
being
saying
fun.
that
I'm not
because
going to die
Yusuf is
tomorrow, but
listening.
what?
You're saying that because Yusuf is listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a remake, so we're waiting for the players to be back in the lobby. But in the meantime, you know what? Let's recap about the entire day. It's Thai. That's it. There's one word for
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Nothing else.
All right. So what we're going to call this? PMPL PH Championship Fall. We're going to rename it for
It's
today.
country finals for Thai.
Yeah, this Thailand Country Finals.
But today is, I mean, even yesterday is still a Thai team's day where they have two, I mean, like, there's only one, right? But they have quite a performance yesterday, a lot of Indonesian yesterday. But today, who will spoil the streak for the Thais? I mean, like, yes, it's different teams, but Buriram got themselves 2 chickens in a day. But I have a feeling that Indonesian might actually have a bit of a push here if they want to.
Yeah, I think if any team were to disrupt the flow, the energy, the force, the nature, the course of nature of Thailand getting the 5th chicken dinner, right? It's going to be one of the Indonesian teams.
Definitely.
I have that feeling.
No faith.
NFP.
No faith at all for the Malaysian team.
Well, okay, if there was any, I would say it's going to be 4 rivals.
I mean, that's a nearest shot we can actually.
It is.
I mean, you do Lions doing okay today.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's not going to be enough when it comes to the last few circles because they always got caught in the transition when it comes to the circles. So definitely they have to fix about their timing of rotations or maybe even evade certain compounds. This is where you know you cannot go through certain route anymore.
Yeah, there are some areas that are very tight, especially like what they call the 5 house, just beside of ruins. Yesterday, the one that Pemburu kind of complained was 4 rivals. They went there first, but that's actually the... Well, if they kind of study it, right, it's one of the checkpoints for Judo Alliance, but 4 rivals happen to be there, so yeah. But anyway, then another team came by, which is the Xavier. And that's where it's like, oh, hey, there's supposed to be a team there, technically, because it's one of the main checkpoints for those teams. And then the Xavier had to come in, then that's where they got caught in between 2 teams.
Flight path.
Flight path.
I mean, it's actually easier to adapt towards a flight path than the circle, honestly. Because if you're too much, focus on your drop spot, on that they play in the scrim, so just want to be in that certain spot. But if the flight path don't give you that sort of direction that you want it to be, it's just really hard to adapt. The fastest way is still adapting towards a flight path.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why we see like some teams, they kind of like change it up. We saw something happening in Zarki yesterday as well, the place that not many people would go to. So it does have a effect there on how the teams actually drop. And with that kind of effect, that also means that the route of where they travel is also affected by that. So the adaptability where the checkpoints are would definitely change. If one team changes, it would affect the other teams as well because, you know, it's like a domino effect.
True. It depends on who get disrupted first. Just now we saw, just to remind, Sam9 that landed, being finished off by FaZe, was it? Straight head on. There's so many teams being eliminated earlier, but still the record holder is going to be 1 minute 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Just to remind.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
That's the entire team, not the first person.
Yeah.
That's the shortest.
Yeah, we hardly got a visual on that. It's that fast. But hopefully we are able to get good visuals after this as we head on to our final game. That's going to happen, and I'm not going to say this wrongly, but in Tyrango.
Now let's get our fingers crossed. Hopefully this is going to be a smooth sailing. The Son of Scar military base equally splitting the map into left. A high possibility because you saw how good they are. You gotta wait and see. It just depends on which team is it.
Well, I guess at this point, right, it's a bonus if you get like beacon time or...
Yeah, Tam, yeah. Call me an oracle, but I did that there's gonna be generous one. Is it gonna be like Gakka field then? Depends on the circle. If you look at it, it feels like it. Now, SLD still have 2 men still floating around, but they definitely found themselves vehicles. What is happening to Yudu Alliance? Why is Olio here alone? And back to the side of Gik and FT Ramon just passing by. Should over with Micro Uzi. That's a long shot. Yuhai, I don't think that's gonna work, but it's okay, Yuhai. Keep on trying. Nice try.
Micro Uzi.
Micro Uzi
Yeah.
with the iron sight.
Micro Uzi, iron sight, 100 meters maybe.
15 bullets left.
15 bullets left. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, too much expectation if he wishes to drop Ramon. So that's fine.
Now, is that 4 rivals sharing the corner with the MNFT? Or is it not? Back to Esburam. Taking this their own time. I mean, like, no clashes, no early clashes early on this time. They had a couple of skirmishes before, but it's been very peaceful for now.
Yeah, there's somewhere on the right. So, again, they're doing what they used to do. They come in a little bit later. They like to spend their time on the outside of the zone a little bit more. So that seems to be the Buriram style for now. Inside of Novo, we have BN United, who's currently at the 20th spot. So they'll be looking to break through at least, not end the day still on 20th spot. But for them, the Xavier is still playing. So the Xavier could go up as well. So that's kind of like their competition to not be at number 20 by end of the day.
True. So Nov's coming to your base. Alter Ego taking it alongside with sort of, if I'm not mistaken, BN United sharing this around Novo or BN United. They haven't got a good day at all. I'm talking about UI, always the first one to be out there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It seems to be hard for them to sustain Yuhai towards the final few moments of the circle. He seems to be out fairly early, and if Yuhai gets out early, his core function cannot be maximized. Like, he's the best when it comes to close quarter combat, when you start to fight, especially compound fights or whatever fights, right? So if you can't sustain him to like maybe the 5th phase circle onwards, it's hard. If he goes out like 1 to 4, that's pretty much nothing much he can do.
True. The thing is, they always got caught in between. There's a lot of players trying to stop themselves in Gatka just because the circle, high chances it might be ended up there. But I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, trying to calculate regarding the scores. I have a feeling that 13 plays 2 to 16. If they don't do something about it tomorrow, they might lose their spot here slowly. And it's going to affect when it comes to their initial points. And 4 teams definitely will be relegated for the playoff because only 16 will make it through the finals. And definitely if you get a good start, you don't have to worry so much when it comes to the next few weeks here. You do line quite spread out on top of Ruins, but they definitely don't have that much of a challenge They don't have to worry that much. A lot of players and teams are being extra careful this time, like not moving as fast as they can. It's quite a generous circle in the start anyway, so not surprising at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of room to play. I mean, this kind of circle. If it was like a circle that has a lot of choke points and lesser areas to play with, military base example is the best example all the time. Then you'll see a lot of cars like just passing by, like playing like as if they are racing. And it's always an advantage if they manage to get themselves onto the other side. If it's like a full-on military-based circle, you kind of know that it's going to be there for sure as a final circle. Then yeah, you see a lot of that happening. But because of this kind of like car area, or whether it's the same effect like this, if it's like on the right side, if it's shelter mansion area, a lot of room to play. Hence, teams will be like, okay, let's take our time because we got a lot of room to play anyway, and we can just go checkpoint for checkpoint. We don't really need to go straight into the riddle. There might be some teams who do that, but you kind of like open up the options for all teams. So not all of them need to do the same thing.
That's true. A bit more variety when it comes to, you know, the team play and the strategy. BN United, they need more vehicles. I don't think this is going to work when it comes to 3-person in one vehicle. They have one buggy. I do prefer 2-on-2 instead of 1-3 here. Infinity slowly approaching towards the bridge side. Maybe they're waiting for the team like Alter Ego and BN United just pass over here. So this is not surprising at all. I did mention about the bridge trolls before this, but the thing is it worth it to wait here for a bit? Because at the same time, there's not many teams on the Sonos community base, only a couple of them. If they actually resort to taking a boat, then nobody's gonna pass by there anyways.
The possibility of team taking the boat is actually lesser. Yeah, because most teams play the regular way of trying to go through the bridge. But this kind of circle, because the circle's on the left, right? So I don't think the Infinity will spend too much time there. Maybe it's just like, okay, we scout, pretty much nothing's happening, then they'll just move on. Unless the circle's on the right, then they might just camp it all the way. Because the circle's on the left, then even like if you're a Novo team, there is also a possibility that you will take the left bridge. So
maybe around 400 meters away, maybe 3 to 4. So it's just too far for them to push in, so they won't actually make a rush there or make a push. But those coming up from the northern side, including 4 rivals here, just gonna pass over towards this area, which is gonna be on top of school, then towards Gatkar. Now everybody will saturate Gatkar region. Coming up from Jogopul and going down towards Roshawk, it's gonna be...
So that's a natural thing to do. Now what Alter Ego is doing is that they want to try and stop BN United because they're guessing that will happen, and they guessed it right. The left bridge will be the focal point. Now BN United chooses to fight. They manage to get a knockdown onto Fnatic, and that's going to be an advantage for BN United. First blood to silence.
Yep, and Fnatic try to actually shot over inside of Silence there. Quite a number of damage on the side of Silence, and Gig Fam happened to be clashed into Sam 9, but Alter Ego will not wait anymore as 4 rivals going against Buram, who got himself a last chicken and bombing each other. It's a bit of an accident in between, and they happen to be facing up a just brawl between these two teams here. Appy being finished off by My Name, and that's a feast coming up from Buram. They won this fight, leaving 4 rivals with only 2 men left. Voki and Pamburu.
April, unfortunately, no way for them to pick him up, so he will go out for sure. Euro Alliance on the other side. We have Buram for them to deal with. I think Luke's all alone. Kingzo with a long range onto the left side. Tiger will be knocked down, but April officially finish off right now.
Tiger still not being picked up by these guys. Buram taking their sweet time. Oh, never mind. He's being built over, and it's going to be, you know what? It's not worth them saving Tiger right now. It's too risky. You do Lions. Just gonna finish off this 1 point here. Yeah. If I were their teammate, I would have put a Molotov out there and just make sure deny the points instead of giving it away.
Well, it's hard to tell, right? Sometimes maybe the position is just too far off, and you just don't want to be there anymore, or you expose yourself, you toss out the molly because because as a player you'll be able to see like the fire trail when the molly's been tossed out, so you can kind of like get an idea of where the opponent is at. So maybe he doesn't want to take that risk, and it's not worth it at the end of the day.
Tam Entertainment facing again FaZe Clan. BN United. Newsy is around the corner with the Scar L. Spotted out Silence and Capone. Now they are quite segregated for BN United. Newsy starts to fire towards all the players coming out from BN United. Capone got hit quite a bit. Silence tried to counter fire, but I have a feeling Newsy, that's just going to be a warning shot coming out from. He don't really want to challenge them, but there's just going to be a warning shot for BN United not to cross around there.
So BN United got everything locked in. We can see that some teams already got their compound inside the areas of Gatka. And Gatka is limited when it comes to compound. It's a lot open area instead. One of the hot places is where the Xavier is at. Kind of like the chopstick area. It's happened to be in the middle of the circle. But interestingly, will it still be in the middle of the circle? I still think that the chopstick house or the chopstick area is still hot. And yes, it is. So yeah, to me, the Xavier currently has one of the best areas right now for this circle. Of course, that depends on how the circle shifts, but for now, their position is great.
In case you guys are wondering about the chopstick, they meant by trenches, okay?
Trenches, okay.
Yeah, the trenches.
The drain. I call it chopstick.
The drain that's huge for drains, but it might work. Hospital, we have visitors. Eagle.
BN United join up against this with 4 rivals in this area. Now, the Xavier's on the other side, so they're not going to be involved in this. And the good news is that because it's like a V shape, it's like 2 different ends, so we don't expect that BN United will be going up against 4 rivals. But looks like the Xavier, they're busy with GigFam on the other side. And I think that's going to be a long-range shot from GigFam. Don't see them coming in yet.
Yeah, a lot of... you know, if you're not in Gatka right now, definitely you are on the high ground, so the elevations around Gatka are real. But the thing is, if you're being closed in by the blue zone and you're late into the center of a circle, it's a bit problem for you because there's not much compound. Especially the trench has been taken over. Bacon time now taking the compounds as well. And the moment they're passing by for NFT, they shot down one by one bit, and they just parked themselves. Ramon's on the ground already. Batman might be next. There's only 2 of them. NFT split it into 2 formations here. And the rest of the team just crashing in, but too late with Amstar already needed Batman on the ground. Vaffel tried to do damage control. They managed to take down on Shirty, but the thing is, not many players coming up from NFT. Spotted out Micro Uzi playing around the corner. Vaffel tried to just heal himself up and hunting for more, but Vaffel is trying to find an exit out, but everywhere it's cornered by Bacon players.
All eyes coming in, and that is it. For NFT, the team that's currently hot will be the first team to go out with 1 point. But look at this, Sam9 has arrived to the party.
And Sam9 now gonna take over Bacon's winning just now, but it feels like they might actually win this one. They can hold a compound. With that, Molotov really plays a big part here. While SLT taking on BN United, Bacon time still defending their fortress that being rushed in before by NFT at first. Next one is going to be Sam9. And look like Ice cook up the nade. Feels like a perfect one, but it's a bit too long. But Noise now, what a play just now by Noise, double nade down. And that's going to be Bacon time winning 2 fights consecutively.
Oh, lots of points there towards Bacon time, 6 points in the bag already. And now move on to Boom with the Eagles having a high ground advantage over Boom, and the Indonesian team has been deleted. And yes, I know.
Now predictions today is about who get deleted first.
Except for FaZe Clan.
Except for FaZe Clan.
Yeah.
For me, it's all of them.
Whoa, but we're not done yet here.
The Xavier is now fighting against GigFam, who's getting into this corner of Car. Try to flush out the rest of these Xaviers. 1 knockdown. Lamborghini almost, but still finish off 1 more secured. But Lamborghini could clutched it. And we have Vicho on the other end. Frank is still standing. Down to only 1 player of GigFam left and alive. But he whiffed it for a bit. He whiffed it. And finally, GigFam finished off. Eliminated. We have round 2 to go, which is going to be Infinity now rushing towards these Xaviers.
Oh yeah, now it's the Infinity onto the Xavier. They tried to do that in the previous round, but now the Xavier will be eliminated by the Infinity. One nade to rule them all.
But Geek Fam got the point.
I know, right? Some
Geek
of the
Fam
it
got
was
the
Geek Fam.
points.
The Infinity managed to get 2, so I mean, okay.
Split it into 2.
Yeah,
Better than nothing.
And Geek Fam still got a couple bonuses.
Not so bad.
Not too bad.
After they're done.
Yeah.
What a situation just now. 2 times in a row. Happened to the Xaviers, and before that it was Bacon. But Bacon managed to hold it off. Now that's a very good CQC team. On the side of Eagle Esport, they're still playing on the high grounds. They're taking on Udo Alliance on the left side, but they have to focus on the right side. I think that's going to be Tam Entertainment, possibly on their right side. I'm not sure, but back to us.
All the compound fights we saw earlier on, the Thai teams won. The Infinity won. We saw Bacon Time won. So far so good for them.
Bacon Time, let's go.
Yeah.
We won 2 fights in a row just now.
Bacon Time, let's go.
You know what? All our predictions kind of jinx the players today. The moment we root it up for them. Feels like it's going to be a sad ending the moment we predict it for certain teams. Especially today. Alter Ego moving towards the field, vast field of Gatka, with SLD being gunned down by their different team entirely. Definitely giving away the position. That's going to be Udo Alliance, SLD, Bururam behind there somewhere as well, with 4 rivals just trying to, you know, squeeze into Udo Alliance. Here comes Alter Ego knocking on that door.
And Udo Alliance, Alter Ego, but 2 knockdowns back-to-back. Shamil with the DBS. The naval finish over Naure. And just like that, Alter Ego deleted by Udo Alliance.
Within seconds. Now, BN United going to leave the trenches. Well, Infinity is going to be stopping them from moving forward. We have 4 rivals on the other hand. The circle will shift again. Who will be favored? Is it going to be the north or the south? Because in between, there's nothing. BRU firing upon Udo Alliance. Going to be right on top of Gatka with FaZe in the center. We have Bacon Time at the rim and also on the left side. But those actually on the north, it's going to be a furthest one away from the circle. Infinity coming up from the south. But the trend is on fire.
Baburu.
They're going to be the shotgun from Baburu. Shuno, Silence. Trying to make a comeback here for BN United. But slowly they're dropping off one by one.
Silence is still alive after all that, but the fire will not connect to Silence. Silence gets up. Silence going on to Baburu 1v1. Baburu down. Silence will keep him quiet.
There was a... He whiffed it for Bamburu. Back towards the side of Bururam versus SLD. It's going to be 2-person fighting 3 of SLD there. There goes the rush. Nate jumps down onto his side. Now down left with Name. Name trying to do something about it, but he couldn't see it through the smoke. He needs to build this one out. He needs to heal himself. Sky is already down. There's going to be last member of Bururam. Name couldn't make it. That's it. The first Thai team to be out here.
Oh, we're not done yet with the action. Newsy will be gunned down by PN United. Silence will finish him off. But the Infinity, they still have the rest of them. Now it's going to be Thailand versus Thailand. FaZe Clan against Bacon Time. Bacon Time, we have Ice that's still alive. They have about 20% health left. He needs to pick up 9 noise. But backup is here. Style. Join them together. But Tam Entertainment, we have Bevy.
Casually Eagle Esport just passing by, you know, hello and goodbye. And they managed to let themselves unharmed, untouchable. But look at FaZe, Bacon Time. Armstar managed to take down on Lycan, but they're losing men for Bacon. It's going to be 2v1 or v2 as well for Bacon. But the fire's going to burn a bit on Tony K and Armstar sharing the same compound. Noise is still outside, cooking up the nade to drop on towards the side of FaZe. FaZe in a bit of a problem right now as Bacon Time have 3 men still standing and one of FaZe Lycan is still on the ground. Tam Entertainment, Asso will revive his mate and they're having another go against FaZe versus Bacon. But Eagle Esport giving the pressure on this side as well.
And Bacon Time managed to reset. Tony K goes down to the ground floor. The door opens up. Tony K needs to reset this up quickly. The first aid will be used. Will be put up by Ice is currently down. 9 needs to pick him up. Logan tries to steal away the elimination point but can't connect those shots. But instead, Armstyle will be knocked down by Tony K.
Sneaky Infinity coming up from the back line here, but they are still in the circle somewhat. FaZe Tony K taking on Armstyle, and now they're having another push for a second version of it. FaZe now going to a side of Noise. Noise needs to actually pick up Ice, who's bleeding out at the moment. It's going to be down to only these 2 men here. Ice will be revived by Noise. In the meantime, not sure how much time they have. BN United taking a fight against SLD, stopping them from moving forward. Still in the smoke, they managed to take down a couple of them with Udo Lines on the other end. SLD feels like they're being hammed between 2 here.
The circle shift away from them, so they need to move 40 more seconds on the clock. At the same time, we can see that Eagles Esports dominating with 5 elimination points, but Smack will be knocked down by Adiluk, finish off by Adiluk's step as well. And looks like another elimination there for the side of SLD. SLD, they're in trouble. Bacon time is out.
Oh man, but it's still a lot of tight teams in there. Infinitely got naded by Eagle Esport. F1 made it. Will this it be? Eagle Esport have a huge chance to win this chicken dinner. They are in the center, and you got a huge nade towards the key players of Infinity as well. Udo Lions still taking the business against BN United, while FaZe, they're done with Bacon just now. They're having a go against Eagles and also Infinity on the northern side.
Oh, let's not forget as well, another Thai team, Tam Entertainment together with Faceland. They are still alive. They're fighting against each other. But SOZ will be gunned by Ripple Boy from afar. Ripple Boy needs to butt in. Ripple Boy tries to get another one, but then again, now in the same building, it's going to be Gartoni Logan as 2 representatives from the Eagles.
Now trying to flush each other out from their own respective levels of terrain here. Definitely going to be hard to fight within the same house for both Infinity and Eagle Esport. But at the same time, it's going to be the flush with F1 bombarding one of the players. Finish off Infinity. That's going to be them placing at 7. We're down to 6. Eagle Esport, can they break the streak from the ties today?
Well, we are still 2 other Thai teams still active in this round. Eagle Esports need to go up against Udo Allies. Udo Allies are currently in the circle. They have a full squad. Eagle Esports trying to get them down. Can't get a shot onto Adilu. Adilu is still alive. On the left, we have Shamil. Shamil managed to evade all those shots coming from the Eagles, but can't see the same for Zunos. Cut down. Silence will be finished off by SLD.
We're down to 5, but SLD, they got a minor victory. Only 1 player left, and this is going to be the one actually in the blue zone. Back towards the FaZe. They tried to bridge into it to the side of Tam Entertainment with 2 men left. 1 last person, actually. Bavy tosses around. That's a wrong angle to work with. Bavy playing it as slow as possible. Chuck himself down to 50% of HP. He will be discovered by the team. They heard his footstep with a micro Uzi. Already ready on his hand. Found it out. For 1. Victorious on the ground. MR5 tried to revive but couldn't make it. Bavy! That bombardment coming from Tony K. Finish off Tam Entertainment. We're down to only 4.
Bavy needed down, but now focusing on the SLD. They're trying to get their way into the circle. Goes to the last man standing. 5 elimination points for FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan play as a trio, the last Thai team to make it a Thailand day.
Now, FaZe still inside the same compound, but quite separated and widespread coming from Eagle Esport. Feels like Eagle Esport having a very strong circle right in the center with the most strongest compound to work with. Just gonna deny all the teams to get into or bridging into the compound here. Udo Alliance quite spread out. But Shamil needs to move the moment the circle shrinks, the moment the blue zone getting inside. He will get down first. He needs to work his angles right, but it's an open field out there.
And only Ripple Boy has a buggy. The rest of them, they need to be on foot. That means they'll be in open. The Eagles know exactly where Udo Alliance is at, and the circle favors the Eagles. Udo Alliance 10 more seconds before the zone closes in onto them. And the only person with a vehicle is Ripple Boy. His teammates will be in trouble.
FaZe start to bridge in here. Want to flash out, but Chwans no more. He already opened up. Nam should MR5. The moment they move forward, they know exactly the movement of FaZe. Know exactly how the enemy think. Eagle Esports see this coming. And now they're trying to toss over whatever they have left for their utilities. Take a nade or even Molotov there. They will toss over for FaZe cannot move forward. Look at how F1 tried to guard from the backline, giving so much information to the rest of Eagle Esport. Exactly the movement and positions of FaZe here.
And this distraction could open up opportunity for Udo Alliance to actually slip into the circle. They're crawling in slowly but surely. And now the Eagles, they're busy with FaZe Clan. While Udo Alliance, Olio and Adilu is actually coming in from the other side. And now we have the other side as well. F1 trying to stop Udo Alliance from coming in. If they stand up, he can shoot them. But they're not standing up just yet. They're crawling into the circle. The nade on the Olio as well. Shamil might be thrown anytime soon.
This is the right time for Udo Alliance to actually butt into this business. I'm talking about being nosy about this because why? They are not being focused by these 2 teams who keep on throwing a lot of utilities against each other until they dry out of it. And now they don't have enough to stop Udo Alliance from breaching in. FaZe especially have to move as the blue zone closes in. They try to rush into an Eagle Esports. Finish off Tony K! Just around the corner. Tony K! Eagle Esports! They can win this, but FaZe slowly losing men here, and Chua still on the high ground. They're still down to MR5. Lycan is still there, and now Chua's just stepping out from the window.
Lycan!
Oh no, Lycan!
Ah, no Clash, but this is an opportunity for you to Alliance to come in. Yes, they're on all four. This could be the first to get in for Malaysia. Unless Eagles, they could reset. They need to do it quickly.
They can just stop the situation. Uno Alliance, got animation.
Malaysia get the first chicken dinner through Uno Alliance.
That's the end of the streak for the Tars. We thought it's gonna be Eagles, but Uno Alliance played patiently, and it was fruitful for them by getting the first chicken dinner finally for the Malaysians. Welcome back, Malaysia team.
Just saying, I praised them today. It was a different map, but still.
Too late now.
Still.
Oh boy, the streak
Ah,
of
the
the day
high streak. Yeah.
of the one that making sure the streak been stopped coming out from Malaysia.
I know, right? That was like, okay, we talk about like, oh, which team might be the one to break the streak and all that. You don't realize they came out.